Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest, Mr. John Dilo.
Yeah.
Lorenzo is here. How are you, man?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you guys for having me.
What happened to Lorenzo? You just said Dilo's better? It's just shorter, easier for people?
Maybe like Instagram is what did Dilo over the edge a little bit.
Oh, really?
Okay. Probably.
Okay.
Damn. I guess we could just go in from there. But I remember like when I was a little kid, kids at the skate park would like call me Dilo, and I kind of thought they were like roasting me or something.
Okay.
Like I was
Yeah.
I was sort of like a wallflower little kid that like didn't want any attention, good or bad. So like when people are like coming up with nicknames for you, you can kind of be like, yo, what the fuck?
You can kind of take it. You take it the wrong way sometimes, right?
Yeah. So I was like, I just remember being like kind of thrown off. And I even remember the first dude to ever like say it to me, like, "Oh, Dilo's here," or whatever. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I remember I won some like skate park at Tampa like footy entry contest when I was in like, I don't know, high school. So I was probably like 15 or something. And they just mailed me a box, and it was like, "Hell yeah, Dilo." And I didn't even know these people. I was like, whoa, weird. Like,
Okay.
I just thought I was, and then Instagram happened, and then it was like, I guess I'm John Dilo.
What are you just?
I'm running with that.
So on Instagram, you're just John Dilo.
Yeah.
So you just ran with it. I like it though. I think nicknames work
Definitely.
in favor of some people. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Yeah.
Lorenzo's a great name, but like Dilo, there's something about that. It just rolls off the tongue. It's short.
It's quick and easy.
Quick and
Yeah,
easy.
quick and easy.
Yeah.
It gets butchered sometimes.
How so? Dilo?
Dilo,
Oh,
Dilo.
Dilo. What do you prefer?
I answered I'll rock with whatever.
Okay.
I'm not really like, I don't know. It's funny because people don't know my whole name sometimes. Like people
Right.
don't know I have like D. Lorenzo's the whole thing.
Sure.
Or then there's people that didn't know my name was John even.
It's just
Yeah.
Dilo.
Yeah, they'll be like, I don't know.
do most people call you Dilo more than John?
Yeah, I was gonna say it seemed more like close friends did, but now it's definitely like that's just what I'm used to responding to, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Johns. Like I have a couple friends that are named John, and we all sort of go by our last names. So it's
That makes sense.
Yeah.
like more
Make it
confusing
easier.
for
Yeah.
all of us to be John.
I know. Growing up as Chris, it's like there's another Chris and there's another Chris, and it's just such a common name
Yeah.
that you need something to like set each other apart from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
You know what's funny is like someone like Justin Eldridge too. Everyone calls him LD, but he has a brother and no one calls him LD.
But his dad, growing up, his dad's nickname was LD. So his dad got the nickname LD, he got the nickname LD, but then his brother has no nickname.
Yeah. That's just chance.
That's,
Yeah.
that's super funny you say that because my mom told me kind of recently that I think it was my dad's cousin, but he was like he treated it like it was his brother, and he was Dilo. Like my dad wasn't Dilo, but like his brother was. And when I was young, when I was like, I guess around that same age, my dad actually like started a fire sprinkler company in Florida, and it's called Dilo Fire Sprinkler.
Dilo. Okay.
Yeah. So like it's all just now it's like it's people send me photos of it on the freeway.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Are you the only Dilo in your family, pretty much?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think it's like per person basis, you know, like maybe if you were like different, like Dilo wouldn't fit you, and maybe you were John, which you are a John,
Yeah.
but you know what
You
I
are a
mean.
Dilo.
You know what I mean,
Yeah.
but you're a Dilo.
Well, my two brothers, they don't have like John's probably the most like basic name that we all have. So like my little brother's name is Nico, which is like Nico.
That's a
Dilo's
good-
Sick.
that's a
that
good
would be
Nico.
sick.
Yeah,
I was
it
thinking, I was like,
for
dude,
sure.
you should have skated. Your name could have been sick.
But even Nico's a nickname, so I don't
Yeah.
even think he needed the Dilo.
Yeah.
So it's just Nico.
Yeah.
Nico, and then what's your other brother's name?
Lenny.
Lenny. That's a
Yeah.
good name.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, I was like, I kind of had to.
Yeah.
If I was gonna take on anything, it had to be that because like John, it's like everybody's. It's like 30 Johns in your school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's kind of the more common the name, the more you should have a nickname.
yeah, more
Yes.
necessary
Yeah,
it
for sure.
becomes,
Like
Especially if there's a few amongst each other, like you
Right.
said. That's the way to depict each other.
For sure. I think growing up it was like it was Chris, but a lot of people just call me Roberts.
Yeah.
Like just hey Roberts, like LD.
Yeah.
I think on like he was just immediately just started calling me Roberts, and then it turned into like C Rob, Krob, thanks to Davis Torgerson, Torgy.
Krob.
We all got them.
Yeah, Dubs, J Dubs. He's got a 1B or 2Bs. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You get it right.
That's right. That's right.
Either way.
I got a good. Smelly fart's a good one. That's my nickname.
That's stuck
yeah,
like
it's
no
stuck.
other.
Yeah.
That works.
So it works.
Well,
good.
let's talk about real quick too, because like I know you just came to here the night. Dude, thanks so much for coming. By the way, man, this
Yeah,
is great.
yes.
We've known you for a long time, dude. You've been on the come up. You're killing it now. Like, dude, you're doing manual tricks and contests, which is crazy. We'll talk about. Nobody's doing that shit. But you're just coming off an injury, dude. You broke your leg.
Yeah.
Like 5 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
It was crazy. Like, people say all the time, like, oh, it's always the shit you don't expect. But, like, real shit, I was just like, really? Like, while I'm looking at my shit, like, broken, you're like, really?
Oh.
Like, this really? You know, I was skating it's actually a spot that I skated, like, 2 weeks prior, got this trick, and it was a trick that was in that Manny Mania footy submission thing. And
What
it ended
trick?
up the nose Manny nollie flip over, like, it's like a 9 stair in
Yeah.
downtown LA. Is that Arco spot?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like I got love and hate for the spot because it's like it broke my leg, but it also won me 10 grand. So
Perfect.
I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
off. But like 2 weeks later, I was trying to line. We were getting kicked out. I was trying to switch hard flip these stairs, and like just kept putting them down, and like whatever, wheel bite. And the security guard's coming, he's leaving, he's coming, he's going, and we were like just hustling because we were starting kind of up the block a little bit. So we wouldn't even know if he was there till the end, and not that he had anything to do with it, but like I just I feel like the ones I was sticking were kind of like hairball. Like some of them felt like, oh, this could be the one, and I would fall, and then some would be like, I don't even know where it is, but I was just kind of in that mode where you're getting kicked out and you're like just trying to put it down.
Sure.
And then I wish I had like a little tech deck reference or something, but basically I thought I was like, say this is my board, like nose, tail. I thought I was like on it like this, like maybe I was going to come down and like break the nose of my board or something, but it felt like a little behind me. Like I couldn't really see where it was, but it did feel strange. Like it didn't feel like it really hit me and was like there. And then when I came down, this like, I learned this after because it all happened so fast. I kind of just crumbled to the ground, but it was like this.
Back foot was off.
The lead foot was off.
Lead.
So the board like just kind of like stabbed me. Like the board literally like flanked me, and like it was just boop, like, and I didn't even know it happened because I knew I knew my front foot wasn't on the board, and I knew my back foot was, but it kind of was it just had me like crumble to the ground. And then when I went to get up, this is the part, I mean, nobody wants to hear this shit.
Oh gosh.
But like, I mean, I had like pants on, baggy pants, and I was just, I didn't see instantly. I didn't even feel it. I just was on the ground, and I went to lift myself up, and when I felt myself move my leg, my foot didn't move. So I knew, like, I was like, dude, no way. You know, I'm like, my homie's filming at the top of the stairs. I was like, yo, my fucking leg broke, dude. And it was just like this thing where everybody's like, what? I'm like, dude, it's broken. And I was so scared to look at it for like, and people carried me up, and like, I knew, you feel like shit's moving. But to be honest, it wasn't that graphic. It like wasn't. I've seen fools that have done like similar things.
Yeah.
And it looked like they got attacked by a shark or something.
The fact that you didn't even feel it.
Yeah,
and you were
it's
just going to get up like normal.
Yeah.
Is mind blowing to me.
Adrenaline is crazy, bro. When you're like
Yeah.
in it like that, and then like you don't feel it, like wow.
It like took me really like looking at it for like what felt like 10 seconds, but it was probably like half a second. I was like, no fucking way, dude.
Like you're just like almost pissed.
Yeah, I was mad because I just knew it was like the worst injury I'd had in my life. Like, the minute you see it, you're like, I've never seen my leg look like that, you know? And then I was at the hospital, and they're all like, are we cutting the pants or are you taking the pants off? I was like, give me a fucking second. I don't know if I'm ready to like look at this thing. Like, I don't know if I'm ready. Like, I really don't know. And then she was nice. She was like this nurse, kind of like, whatever it is, what it is. Like, we could just cut them. I was like, I don't know. I kind of like these pants. You took the pants off. I saved the pants.
Okay, there you go.
So I was like, but
which is weird because sometimes like if you hurt yourself, like I'm getting rid of the shoes, I'm getting rid of that board, like I'm throwing all my shit away.
I don't know.
It's
dude.
weird.
He was still coherent. And
I'm
like,
not
I like these pants.
No, I'm not like it wasn't the pants
Superstitious
fault.
type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just for me sometimes it's like, especially the shoes or something like, or the board, I'm just like, okay, I'm busted my ankle in this. I'm done with this shit.
Nah, dude, I don't know. I feel you. There's aspects where I'm like, yeah, fuck that board. But then there's also like I still want to kind of do the line. Like,
Right.
there's parts of me that's like, I don't hold a grudge against what happened. Like that's like a drop in the bucket chance of like, I've been playing with fire for, I don't know how long I've been skating, dude. Like you look at the grand scheme of how long you've been skating and you look at like, I've kind of dodged a million bullets.
Yeah. No
and then this one got me. I'm like, it's all good. Like it sucks, but like, bro, I know people who've been like, boom, knee surgery, knee surgery, boom, boom, boom. But like, there's all these like crazy things happen to people where you're just like, bro, this dude can't catch a break.
Right.
And like, I don't know,
you're healthy, you're good. Like dude. first major injury.
Yeah, I broke a bone, which is way more of like a casual healing process than like soft tissue, like tendons, ligaments and shit. Yeah. I don't have like an ACL reconstruction or like a whatever, the ankle thing, like there's tons of people that I know, like Julian Davidson was just on here and like he's one of those dudes who I've seen, like I've lived in Long Beach now for like 10 years, but I've seen him go through all of it and I'm just like, dude, this fucking guy is the greatest, and he just like has so much like shitty luck with the injuries, and you're like, fuck, man.
But you know what though, skaters, man, you keep persevering, and dude, you just keep going. Like ankle break's not going to stop you. A leg break, like an ACL, like nothing's going to stop you until you physically cannot push on a skateboard.
Yeah, no, and that was kind of like right after the injury. Obviously, everybody's first thought is like, how fucked am I? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the doctor's like, whatever, I got all these x-rays, CAT scan shits, whatever. And I'm like still, I think maybe they like wrapped no, I don't think they did, because they wanted to like reset it. And they like put me under to like reset the bone.
They put you under.
So I'm still mangled. Like my girl's there with me. We're kind of holding my foot like up type shit. And I'm just waiting for the doctors to come in. And it was like city hospital, it was like USC or something. So I'm just like, fuck, we might be here all night with my leg just like in pieces, not knowing. And they came in and like they were like, they knew the stress I was feeling, and like I don't want to say they were laughing at me, but they were kind of like, all right, for like the face value of what happened, you broke your shit, but like there's like a 1 to 10 ratio of like what we see where you're like, oh, this dude broke his leg,
he's good
on a motorcycle, and like he destroyed his knee and ankle in the process, or like people that it like fragments and like really explodes, or there's all these like severities.
You were like low on the
they were like,
scale.
Dude, we're gonna fucking
you're gonna be good,
put this metal in you, and your shit's gonna be stronger than before.
By the way, with the rehab stuff, I mean, are you doing any rehab? Because you said you've been out for 5 months.
Oh yeah.
We were talking before the show. You said that they said like you'd be skating in what, like a month or two or something like that.
They said like 3 months. For the severity of my break, they were like, and it's Darwin was on the show, and he said the same thing. I was laughing at home when because he was like, yeah, I broke it, and it was crazy looking, and like, it was 3 months, and I was all good, and like he put more emphasis on the ACL, which is like I feel it because it's you got to do gnarly rehab. It's like strengthening, and but yeah, for the break, that's how they kind of just broke it down to me like, oh, 3 months, and your bone will be back. So it's what you make of it.
So where are you at now after the 3 months and the 5 months? Like they said 3 months, but now you're at the 5 month mark. Like what's holding you back from getting back on the board full time? Do you not feel, I mean, we all know our body the best.
Yeah.
And is that what it is?
No. So I had seen, I have these like orthopedic, sports medicine doctor that like I'll see. His name's Dr. Thomas. He's like, he treats, like Neen goes there, and like all these, a ton of skaters. They shout out Beach City Orthopedic. They're like, they're the homies for real. Like they've blessed me fucking with PT, with everything. Yeah, I've been seeing them for a long time, just about, like little things.
You gotta stay healthy.
Yeah, like if something's bothering me, I'll text somebody. We'll get it situated. I'll get in there, and like they can help me diagnose an issue.
Right.
So, about a year ago, I got like, I tweaked my ankle kind of. Maybe it wasn't a year ago. I don't know. It was like 8 months ago. I was filming with Beagle for the Shake Jump video, and I like tweaked my ankle a bit weird, and I was like, ooh, it's just like hurting way more than just like the severity of how bad I tweaked it. So I went in there and they x-rayed it, and they're like, well, you got to get your ankle scoped. Like you got a bunch of shit in there that's like, as time's going on, it's just getting like harder and harder, and it's just going to be like bone on bone.
Got to
like,
clean
as time
it out.
goes on. So that was 8 months ago, whatever. And I'm just like skating through it. And honestly, skating through it was like, it wasn't as bad as like stuff I've skated through. Like I was like, oh, if I'll get to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Eventually,
Everybody, you're
right.
just like, I'll kind of wait till it like parks me. But so fast forward, leg breaks. They told me on the x-rays, they were like, yeah, it broke pretty clean, but they were worried about, there was like one hairline fracture that was kind of like going toward my ankle, they were saying on like some of the images. And they put 2 preventative screws like in my ankle that they were kind of like, we don't want this thing to go down there and to split your ankle or something. If, just the chance of it. So they were like, we put the 2 screws, and then for the metal in my leg, there was 2 like anchoring screws. So there's a total of 4 screws like near my ankle, but 2 of them were like up kind of above where the joint is, more in like the shin. So, whatever, all this stuff's going on. I'm at the 3 months. PT was like, feel it out, like I think I was 3.5 months before they really were like, feel it out, And I started skating these curbs by my house a little bit, and I felt like, I don't know, I felt like I knew it was the screws. I felt like, because they told me the main metal in my leg is like the center of my bone. They're like, you're not going to feel it. You're not going to feel this main thing that's in there, but like, they're like, your bone will grow over the screws. You won't feel it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, I can't help but feel like limited. It felt like my ankle wouldn't really get like that full like range of motion going up and down. I was like, it's just, maybe it's the shit that they sort of like saw a long time ago. And then I was like, maybe it's the screws. And I kind of kept expressing to them that I thought it was the screws. Like, and they're like, if they're really bothering you, it's like they've done their job. It's been 4 months.
We'll take them out.
Yeah. They're like, we can. So I was like, I really think they need to go. You know? Like, I think so. And back to your question was like, why am I not skating? I got the surgery 2 weeks ago, and they took all the screws out. I just wake up and like there's a little baggie on me with like 4 screws.
Oh wow.
And I'm like,
here's your little present.
Yeah, I was like, damn, they got them all. Like I was honestly so hyped. I like took a photo of it. I was like, they got these fucking motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, whatever, 5 days they got the stitches out, and they were like, keep it light with PT. You can like walk, like whatever, like ride a board to the store, but they're like, just don't do anything fucking stupid. You still have like wounds where the screws were, and they're like, we don't want you to stress them out and like cause more damage, whatever. Yeah. So, dude, I fucking went home and I got on my board and I just pushed down my alley, and I was like, it was those motherfucking screws, dude. Yeah. It was those motherfucking screws.
You called it, bro.
And I knew it. Yeah. And I just felt so free, like just the push.
Yeah.
Like it was that.
I love that. Man.
It was like that bit where I was like, you're at the peak of your push and you're putting all your weight into your toes. That was where I just felt so limited and like pain, like a lot of pain that I never felt before hurting my leg. So I was like
I just said, you know your body better than anybody else. Yeah. And just the fact that you would not take, I mean, you always want to trust the doctors, right?
Yeah.
This is the way they did it. But I love your tenacity of like, it's the fucking screws.
Yeah.
Right? You got to get these things out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not working for me, bro.
This is hindering my shit. You know?
And I mean, there's, I'm sure there's people out there that have screws, and I'm sure it was rough and they worked through it. But I was at the point where they weren't doing their job no more. Like they told me like, yeah, you're at 3.5 months. You're going into 4. Your bones, like, it's all healed to the point where like the screws aren't gonna hold anything together that's like broken, you know what I mean? So, and it's not like they're taking everything out. I still got to live with this fucking rod, yeah. But realistically, that's not invasive to my ankle, which is like all skating, like skating is like your ankle needs to work, dude.
100%.
So
I love the fact that you went straight home and jumped on your board because you had to know.
I just needed to like push. I knew it, and I like went in my house and I told my girl, I was like, it was the fucking screws. Right. I knew it was the fucking screws. So I talked to my girl about this morning. So I got the board I broke my leg on, and I want to break it with the leg I broke.
But be careful with that one.
Not now. When I'm ready, when
that thing's fully ready.
Yeah.
When I'm ready.
We have your board right now, actually. Bring it out, Raj, now.
When I'm ready, Kelly, I'm gonna break that shit. And then I was like, I'm gonna screw that shit together with the screws, and then break that shit with the screws.
Oh wow!
You know what? We all deal with things in our own way. Yeah. And if that's your way of dealing with it, then so be it.
I was like, because my girl and I were like, what are we gonna do with these fucking screws? Like, they were like, put them like I don't know, make something out of him, or like somebody was like, put him in a like. Not knob a spot, but like put him at a spot, like screw him into something at a spot. I was
knob.
like, fuck
John
that.
Dilo knobbed this spot. I know it. These are his screws.
I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna like break the shit, screw that shit back together, break that shit
I like
again.
it. I like
Yeah,
it. Hey,
that's
do
an
your
idea,
thing,
bro.
man.
Fuck
Do your
yeah.
thing.
That's crazy. I had the same thing happen to my foot. I got the screws taken out, and I could notice it right away.
Oh yeah,
And I
your
was
body
like,
knows
I was
when
like-
that shit was not supposed to.
But
be.
it's very relieving to know that you're like, okay, I'm not. It's not just a fucked up injury.
Yeah.
Like that was what stopped me. Now I
After
can
5 months,
Yeah.
and being like, dude, because like as a skater, we all start to, ask the question, or am I ever going to be as good?
Yeah.
Is this going to hinder the
Yeah,
rest of my
100%.
shit? Like,
Yeah,
so it's nice to finally get that like
Oh, dude.
question resolved.
It was it was
night
like
and day.
a humongous breakthrough in like my recovery. Because before that, 3 months came, I was like, no shot, no fucking
I like
Yeah,
the
it's
fact.
like, this don't feel right.
yeah, I was like, no shot.
I like the fact too. It's like because I always tell people, man, like, injuries are so, they happen, and
Yeah.
like physical therapy, all that PT. It's like it's so important, man. And I always, dude, skating's not gonna go. It's not going anywhere.
Yep.
If you can, do all the physical therapy you can and get back on your board when you're ready and not like prematurely, it's going to be so much better for you in the future.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that even don't do stuff about their injuries, and they
Yeah.
get back on their board, and then it's just like, it's this chain reaction, man.
Dude,
and all
yeah.
of a sudden, 3 years down the road, like they can barely even skate anymore. It's like, dude, if you would have taken that time
Yeah.
to just do your shit.
Dude, yeah, it's like this whole experience has been, like I said, it's like the first real gnar injury I've had where you're like, I don't think I've ever had an injury that was like, you can't even ride your board, or like
Yeah.
you can't even like, there's always in the back of your mind when you're hurt, you're like, but I could get on my board and like do a manny or
Yeah,
do something like
yeah.
a 50-50.
Tampa
But, like,
Pro's
this-
coming up, man. I could do some manuals in that contest.
But dude, like this was the first time where I was like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I mean,
Take your time, man.
dude. I'm 28 years old. It was like, if I don't take it seriously, I felt like it was the difference of like, if I was gonna get to continue to be a pro skater, or if I was just gonna have to be like, well, I fucked off and I blew this.
Where did Dilo go?
Yeah, it's like,
This is that one time where you have to like almost test yourself on patience.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's very like mindful. Keep that in mind.
Dude, I've been like, we were talking about it in the kitchen a little bit. I was like, I can't film tricks anymore. So like PT's been like my way of challenging myself. Like
What?
right now
I
I
love that.
can't film. I can't like do something proactive for like my skating. So I'm like, all right, I'm fucking pushing it harder. Whatever. I got a whiteboard at home in my kitchen with like all this stuff I got to do, ankle
Oh,
stuff,
wow.
knee stuff. Like,
Okay.
and I try, and there's weekends where I won't do it, or like if I'm really sore or something, but it's like that shit weighs on me the same as like you didn't fucking get that trick or
Right.
something,
Sure. I love that you're taking care of yourself, man. Like you said, 28 years old. I mean, still young, but at the same time, injuries are tough, you know, and dealing with it. And I don't even know if back in our day, Dubs, back in our day, may feel old, but
You guys are old. Sorry.
Kelly,
Kelly.
you're excused. You're excused. I don't think you're.
I'm just kidding.
But going to physical therapy, like it wasn't a part of our daily. It wasn't a
it
part
was
of our
later.
like you sprain an ankle, you sit on the couch, you drink beers, you smoke weed, like you wait for it to heal.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't that like
Later in my career, I started to do that, but yes, it wasn't anywhere near where when I was younger, like that was like even on the fucking format to even do some shit like
you
that.
wouldn't even like maybe get an X-ray.
No, I'm a true testament to that. I
See?
broke my ankle and didn't get it fixed,
Fuck.
and not even year, like a year and a half later, going to get an X-ray, and they're like, "Did you ever break your ankle?" And I'm like, "Nah." They're like, "Yes, you did."
Fuck,
So
dude.
it's like, yeah,
I still know people like that. Like,
Yeah.
I know kids. Like it hurts me to see like, I don't know, kids like, there's like a ton of homies in Florida, like, younger kids that and they'll be hurt and whatever and skating on it. They got 2 ankle braces on them. Like, bro, just go get your shit looked at, bro.
Skating's
Like,
not, I mean, I know where they're coming from. I know the love and the drive, and
Yeah.
they just want to skate, but like, bro.
yeah.
No, sometimes they don't got health insurance, bro.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Like I know, trust me. But you can find those doctors. $75 for an X-ray. Like at least try
Yeah,
to
you
do
can.
something
That's
proactive, so Like knowing is half the battle.
The
G.I.
diagnosis
Joe,
is
you know?
huge.
You already
Like
know.
just getting an injury diagnosed as like this is what's wrong with you is huge. That's
Huge.
like for skaters and a lot of skaters are scared. They're like scared to know something's wrong. And I'm like,
that's so
I'll
true.
fucking swallow that shit. I'm like, dude, I don't.
You gotta know. It's just better. It's for your mind, bro.
Yeah,
like I'd rather know than not know, and just
exactly.
like Dub said, go in for an X-ray and be like, you did your shit.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know. I mean,
well, I'm glad you're on the road to recovery, bro. Sounds like we're a month or two away from out there doing some crazy shit.
I got 6 weeks more of PT
Perfect.
before they're like loosening the leash.
And man, get going.
I just want to skate.
Ease into it.
I just literally like want to skate as minimal pain as I can do, because I don't want to be like whatever talking about this injury the whole time, but also I don't want to be like making it seem like, oh fucking whoa, this happened, poor me. It's like, dude, in reality, I had so many like little things going on, like in like small little injuries, you bruise your heel. Yeah, I'm just going to keep skating. Oh, like this ankle thing that they told me about. I'm like, I'm going to just keep skating. And then you're skating in so much pain, like little things, like your left side's fucked, your right side's fucked. And then you're filming, you're doing this. People are like, oh, can you, and no one else knows, like, I can't expect my sponsors to understand that, like, dude, but like my shit is like hurting.
Yeah, like I got a heel bruise and I've been favoring that leg, so now this hip is all fucked up, and you're all off kilter.
So when this happened, it was like kind of like a huge relief, because I was skating. It was like I felt like a weight was lifted off of me, because I don't know. Last year I skated so much and did a lot, and I feel like it kind of. It's having its toll now. Like it's catching up to me now, where like all those little things that I was ignoring, they hit the fucking ceiling.
Right.
And they're just like, here they are. Like now you got to face them.
Right.
And this injury was kind of me being like, you know what? I can't do all this. I can't juggle all this anymore. Like I can't skate in pain. I can't cause you start having not a resentment towards skating, but I started looking at it like I can't even like enjoy my time skating because I'm in pain all the time.
Right.
And like you got to shoot an ad, do all this. And you're just like, dude.
And just the pure aspect of skateboard.
Yeah.
Every person listening to this podcast right now, like, knows an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not new to it. So like talking about it, I think is a great thing. It's like every person goes through this. Maybe not every people talk about it. There a lot of people now may be documenting it, like P-Rod's like recovery stuff, but I think it's inspiring. I think it's like, man, like somebody out there that's like 35 or something. Like, man, John Dilo's 28 and. Oh, he's going through that. Like, all right, let me get my shit together because I want to still skate, when I'm 45 or 46,
Dude, no doubt. I've had kids, anytime I've like stepped out a little bit, because I haven't really left my house a lot since I've been hurt. But if I go to like a skate event or something, there's been like more kids will come up to me wanting to talk about where I'm at with my recovery than, I don't know, like whatever's currently going on. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like skating stuff. It's more like, hey, I did this too.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with it? And I'm just like, it's cool to be able to like tell a kid it'll be all good, dude. Like, yeah, we're doing good. You're doing good. It's going to be all good.
I think it's important, man. Because at the end of the day, it's like you could relate. Yeah. Like everybody in this room can relate to an ankle sprain.
Yeah.
I can't relate to you on a leg break, but I can relate to you on the sense of like how that could affect my mind and recovery aspect and everything that goes into it.
It's funny when how you can bond so well with someone when they have the same injury as you.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's pretty wild because you don't meet too many people that have the same injuries.
Yeah,
right?
dude. And Brandon Turner, Bryan Herman.
A lot of people.
Both people that like in some way have reached out to me saying, I did the same shit, dog.
Yeah.
Like
wild.
Brian literally called me and he's like, dog, you're chilling. I did the same shit and they probably gave me a botch surgery compared to your shit. You know what I mean? Like it's like that was 2004, dude. Or
is that when he had the maggots coming out of his leg, though?
I think so.
Maybe.
I think so.
It might have been.
He definitely had a botched surgery.
He was. Oh yeah, for sure. He was like, dog, like whatever they did to you is better than what they. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be all good, dog. He's like,
wait, was that the doctor's fault?
No.
I was just kidding.
When you have a cast on, maggots formed in the wounds, which I actually heard that it's fine that they did because they eat like the parasites or something that's in there. I don't know the whole thing. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
It just sounds.
It just sounds crazy.
Yeah, I don't want
sure.
any maggots near me.
But yeah, he like him calling me, like talking to Bryan Herman about you broke your leg, but it's gonna be all good, dog. He's like, yeah, I was, all that skateboard mag cover I got after I broke my leg, all this stay gold shit after I broke my leg.
He's still like, hard flipping like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's like, dude, you're gonna be all good, dude. So I'm like, all right,
You're chilling,
like
bro.
I can't help but be optimistic. You look around and all you have is like kind of good stories about it that
For
I
sure.
see, you know. So I'm like,
And you got a lot of, I mean, you got a lot of stuff to also look forward to. I mean, you got the hours, shoes, which we'll talk about for sure, because I mean, this involves Bryan Herman as well.
Yep.
And congrats on the color. We'll definitely get into that for sure. But I also want to just jump back to, because like we were talking, you know, like
yeah,
the Floridians
yep.
are just taking the skate scene by storm. You got especially Jupiter. You
Yeah.
and Zion are just coming out like crazy.
Brad Cromer.
Brad Cromer is from Jupiter.
Yep.
How was it coming from a small little town like that? You know, especially because you met Zion when you were really young too, right?
Yeah.
How old were you when you guys met?
Zion. When I met Zion, he wasn't Zion. He has an older brother that's my age. Me
Okay.
and Zion are 5 years apart, and his older brother Leroy, he would come with us to so and so's mom's taking us to the Boynton skate park. Like, you want to like hop in, whatever. He'd be like, can my little brother come? We'd be like, Leroy's little brother's gonna come. You know? And that was our
Zion.
answer. And we'd bring him. We'd be like, bro, your brother's crazy. Because he would just be like, couldn't ollie, I'm a board slide that rail. Just like run into it 100 times. He was like that little kid.
So rad.
He was like, you kind of, yeah, we met when he was so young, and like his dad, you guys met Zion's dad before?
Yeah.
He's epic, dude.
Zion was like the kid that you always see that you're like, dude, just learn how to push first. Like the ollie's gonna come, the rail's gonna come, the 360 flip down the stairs
He's
gonna
ahead
come.
of himself.
Whatever the hell he was doing clearly worked.
Right.
Because, I mean, he broke his leg before too. I remember when he was really little, he broke his femur actually. We were like, dude, because he was tiny, and we were like, bro, this is crazy. And then he was good in like 2-3 months. It was fucking insane.
So you guys are 5 years apart, but you guys, I mean, obviously the skateboarding just bonded you guys for sure.
Pretty much. We could go back even farther. I don't know where we're trying.
Well, go ahead. What?
So
Start at the
pretty
beginning.
much, we had this homie crew. It's called Florida Days, and I don't know if we made some homie videos, and one of them was kind of like Zion's sort of like, I want to say breakout part, kind of like everybody. You don't see 10-year-old kids being filmed well, edited in like a legit video, like getting down in the streets like he was. So it was like, it kind of put all of us on, because people were like, yo, this, like, and that was 2011, I want to say. So
the first one.
Yeah, the first one. Because Zion, that was like, he had a video part, like little kid having a full video part. Like, you know, it was kind of, I feel like Midler was the only other kid at that time that we knew of that was doing it like that, because he had his brother filming him and stuff. But yeah, so pretty much we all like would go kind of like just scoop Zion up from his house, because we knew he was something we knew. Like and my friend Mikey Glover, who filmed all the videos, he lived like, Mikey's house was here and Zion's was like right down the same street. So at that time we were all young, and like Zion's dad was like hella intimidating to us.
Okay.
So we were kind of like, damn, because his dad would be like, where y'all going? Where are you taking my son, you know?
Well, he's a little kid.
Yeah, he was a little kid, and we didn't like, I don't think his dad really understood street skating, you know?
I don't think a lot of parents do.
Oh, dude, and back then,
No.
You got a bunch of older dudes picking up some young kid, like going out.
I was like,
where the fuck are you guys going?
I was like 15, 16. He was like 10 or 11. And we're like, oh, we're going to go skate. And we wouldn't tell him where we were going. Okay. And then like Zion would be on a roof trying to ollie off a roof. And then the cops come, and it was like, hey, we got your son down here in like Riviera Beach, which is like not the best side of town. And then he'd, you know, freak out on us like, what? Why you taking my son all this? And we're like, dude, trust me. It's going to be epic.
This is
dog.
what we do.
I was like, yeah, we're going to be skate. Like, we're just trying to like pretty much show the world this kid's talent. You know, he was super good.
Do you think that attitude changed from his dad, like after that first Florida Days video came out?
Oh my God, dude. Like, I remember when I turned pro, like his dad called me, because Zion has a house in South Florida now where like his dad lives there. And every time we go visit, we stay there. Like we'll pop in, and you know, he has a whole different, like, it's changed from the first video.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, from the first video was like completely different. But I just remember when he called me, like, when I turned pro, and I couldn't even really understand him too well. He was just crying, like, crying so much. He's like, oh, like, you kids from Jupiter, we always knew y'all were from another planet Jupiter. Like, he would always say this shit, like, y'all are from planet Jupiter, like, y'all are from somewhere else, and you guys are going to do all this in skating. And so, like, I feel like he feels like, I don't know, he sort of like manifested it,
right,
you know, for all of us.
But also is like his community, a little small place in Florida is like on this massive world stage now of skating.
For sure. Like, dude, Zion's in the Olympics.
I
dude,
know.
From Jupiter, Florida. And I trip out that he don't have like a skate park named after him or like a day. Or I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
Let's get a Zion day in Jupiter.
Hell
bro.
yeah. I'm like,
how hard can that be?
We should have we should have like a Vans skate park. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, dog. But
that's amazing.
It was pretty epic. Like going from, I don't know, like his dad kind of being like, where are y'all taking, like, because he would freak out on us. And I never knew what to say to him because I didn't have the answers. I wasn't like, dude, trust me.
I mean, you're 15, like whatever.
I'm like, sorry, because we were hella scared of him when he'd freak out at us. We're like, fuck.
Yeah.
But, nah, dude.
That's cool, man.
But at that time, it was all about fun, and you guys just really, obviously, having that little community and going out skating, filming.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys the goal is to get sponsored and to really, make it happen. But at least you guys were having fun at that moment, and that's what it was all about for you guys to be telling him, we're having fucking fun out here.
Yeah,
shit,
we're up on roofs and shit. Like we're having.
We might be a little dangerous, but we're out here having fun.
Yeah, dude, and we made the first one. The first one, like people kind of got familiar with. I feel like Zion was like sort of the anchor because he was the little kid. Everybody was like, "You seen this little fucking kid?"
Yeah,
and he would go to the Damn M's and stuff. And then the second video we made was when shit was like crazy because Zion got really good. It was like 270 lip slide and handrails, and this was only like a year and a half later, and he was doing cab back lips and all these like grown man tricks, and we're like, bro, like we were sitting on this stuff and we are like, the world is about to trip the fuck out. So like maybe had a little bit of flack from Zion's dad a little bit at that time, but we're like, nah, dog, like this shit right here is about to go crazy.
Yeah. And kids are going to do what they're going to do. Yeah. You know, like Zion loves it the most too. So he's going to go and make it happen no matter who, no matter what.
Yeah.
I could see how Pops would be like a little bit like, a little apprehensive on
for
like,
sure.
Man,
I get it.
What are we doing here? Like really, how's this going to really work out?
We've had those talks with like all my parents, like I remember graduating high school and like that was, whatever. It was just before summer. My friend David told me in like a month, he was like, I'm driving to California, I'm going to move there. And he was a filmer. He still is a filmer, but he was like one of the filmers in South Florida that like had a lot of respect and was making cool videos. And I told my mom, like, I remember we went to a breakfast after I graduated and she was like, so do you want to go to like community college? Or are you going to try and work? I was like, I think I'm going to go to California with David. And she was like, what? Like, why?
You threw that left field.
And dude, the craziest part was I was like maybe 17 or 18 and like looking back, it's crazy. But then I was just like,
made sense.
Yeah, it's like the opportunity presented itself. I wasn't like really sponsored or I kind of was. I got like some shop hookups, but like it was sort of like, yeah, why not? That's where pro skaters live and do stuff. So not that I thought I would ever be that. I was just like, he's going, let's try it.
Let me ask you a question. I love that. Is Zion, at this point in time, where's Zion? Because I feel like Zion was the guy who was being catapulted up through the Florida Days videos, right? He's probably already getting hooked up, right? Yeah. He's 5 years younger than you are. So did that play not play a factor in it, but like where was Zion at this point when is he still in Jupiter doing his thing? Or was he already kind of like getting shit going?
So I'm trying to think.
Was he already in California? No.
So he might have. He might have, because at this point, I think people have talked to his dad enough to be like, hey, if you want your kid he's got to leave. He's got to leave. So I think he kind of like maybe left around the same time as me. Everybody sort of left around the same time. That's the strangest part about like Tyson, Ish, their crew, Bobby Bills. And like Foy.
Well, there's there's a certain age you get to where you're like, dude, everything's happening in California.
Yeah, and we were all like, I don't know, not super close in Florida. We like Zion's a little bit closer in age with Jamie than I am, so they were like, they had like a real tight bond through the contest circuit because they were both like the Groms and the Damn M's that and they were both from South Florida, so they would. I remember when we would go skate when Zion was like a little bit older, he'd be like, yeah, we're going to link with like Jamie and his crew. And we were like, all right, yeah. Like I didn't really know Jamie like that then, know? And we would link with them and they had like their own filmer, their own spot regimen. We would just like run into them somewhere. And it wasn't until, same with like Tyson and Ish, I would meet all of them at like skate park at Tampa contests.
Tyson and Ish are more your age though, right?
Yeah. We're all like relatively close in age, like a year or two,
Couple of years,
like
right?
maybe 3 tops. Like Zion's the biggest age gap from me. But they were from Palm Bay, Melbourne, Florida, which is like 2 hours north of where I grew up, Jupiter. So me and Zion were in Jupiter. And then like an hour and a half south was like Jamie and Pedro and Fabiana. So, and Kaylin Diaz, like, so everybody had like kind of their respective crews kind of. And they would come out with videos. We would see it and be like, oh shit, like that kid Ish is hella good. Like nollie flip board side and rails when like we were young. Tyson was like, just, you knew he was something special, you know, when I saw him skate. And like, same with, I would see Foy, Pedro. Like, I just remember it was when YouTube and Instagram were like, not really like, you weren't like famous overnight from it, but like in our area, stuff would circulate, whether it was through like Facebook or like whatever at the time. So,
well, I feel like out there in such small areas too, it's more you're focused on what's going on out there too, because like that's your home state.
Yeah, like you're like, whoa, they're making videos too, because like we were, but like we weren't like telling them like, hey, like check our video out. Like we didn't even know they existed until their video came out. And we were like, whoa, these kids are like in our age group doing their thing. And it was kind of Skate Park of Tampa that like bonded all of us a little bit. I remember standing on the roll-in. Me and Tyson brought this up last year because we were at Tampa Pro really early in the week before the contest. Like all the pros showed up. We were like at the top of the roll-in, like warming up, and I was like, dude, we met right here like a long time ago.
That's
a long time ago. Like me, Ish, Tyson, like Jamie. I feel like I met her on a Tampa Am, like really met him, you know. But like it wasn't until we all came to California, which was, for me, I think I got there a little bit earlier, like 2012, 2013.
Out of high school.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, high school. And then
when you guys moved out here, did you know, like, did your boy already have a place? What was his name that moved out here?
David.
David. Did he already have a place lined up?
Yeah, he was moving in with a couple of homies that I think might have already had a spot.
In Long Beach?
Yeah,
okay.
They already had a spot. And then I think my plan was to come and visit and like see how it was. And then I was going to come back if I was like fucking with it. So obviously, I mean, I think I just ended up staying or like, you know, but I was like, he was like, just crash in my room, like on the floor, whatever, like skate house shit. And then continued to live in a lot of other skate houses following that one. But
because Long Beach is a place where you can go get your morning coffee and you're standing next to 5 different pro skaters. Dude, it's insane.
I have the funniest story like that. I remember getting to Long Beach, like whatever, getting to the apartment, and we just had like a rack of DVDs, and it was like Good and Evil, whatever. And I popped one in, and it was like Good and Evil, whatever. I was watching it through, and it was early. I was like on East Coast time, so like I woke up early, was about to go to the store. Matt Bennett's part's like playing, and I literally like walk down the stairs, and it's like Matt Bennett in like a stroller and like his girl, and I was like, what the fuck? Like that was so weird, dude. I didn't say anything to him. I was just like, your
brain just exploded.
Yeah, I was just like, this is Long Beach, dude.
Just how you do. Just how you do a Bennett grind. Yeah. Now you're here.
Yeah.
Did you say something to him?
No, hell no. I was like, dude, I don't know. I feel like especially younger, like way younger, I was like a wallflower kid. Like I wanted to be like, I just wanted to be like a fly on the wall kind of, and like, 18-year-old me, there was no shot. I was walking up to Matt Bennett like, hey, I was just watching you in Good and Evil. Like, no shot.
Yeah. But just being around that area, though, you start seeing everybody. Yeah. There's Cherry Park. Like, you start to meet everybody, too, which is nice. I'm sure that happened for you as well, just meeting people.
Yeah, I see, like, I think I got to Long Beach, like, maybe a year before everybody else sort of started to come.
Okay.
Because I got there, and my friend David that I was living with, he like transferred jobs and he was moving to San Diego. So he was like, you want to come with me or you want to stay? And I honestly, at that time, I was like 19, and I really felt pretty overwhelmed by like the skate industry. Like I didn't feel like ready to pursue skating, if that made any sense. I felt like I just didn't feel like I was like good enough, you know? Like, not that maybe that was the truth, but like I really felt like I wasn't confident, or like I wasn't making the right connections, or I wasn't doing it all with confidence. You know, you got to come out here and like either skate your ass off, like make a splash, or like, you know, find a group of like get in with a crew and like it works. And I moved out here with like, I think I was maybe getting like shop flowed like Organica boards and like some Converse stuff.
How long were you in Long Beach before he wanted to move to San Diego?
like 1 year, I think.
So just a year. I mean, that's no time at all,
Yeah.
even to make connections and do all that stuff. But you still didn't feel like you were ready.
I just didn't. I felt more confident with me and David were like filming a lot, and we were making things. Like he made a video like kind of years later, but we were working on like parts, you know, and we would do. That was kind of like our hustle for a while. We did a part for like the Ride Channel, and they were paying people, like they paid us for a video part. Thrasher ended up like fucking with us. Like I was just a random kid, and like shout out Mike Gilbert and Cole Matthews and Burn Dog. Like all those dudes, like kind of seeing what I was doing. They were honestly like what helped me get on the site, and like I don't know, they helped me get more, like it was almost like put my name in lights out of nowhere, you know, because I was a random kid. And then like, oh, like email this dude, like you have a part, send it to like Mike Gilbert, he runs like the website of the mag, and back and forth conversation with him, and he's like, yo, you're this part is sick. And like, you know, they have to pay money to cover like a song and all this stuff, and I didn't understand that. And like we're editing it however we want, and he's like, I don't know if this is gonna work, like, and I'm like, I don't know, we could maybe re-edit it. And he's like, let me talk to Tony. And like, dude, they would pay to cover music rights and all this stuff. And like I remember hearing it from Cole like later, he's like, yeah, Tony was like, this dude's skating is like, it's good, he's doing good skating, so let's pay for the music.
That's dope.
And that shit really helped it all happen. And I was living in San Diego at that time,
so you ended up moving with your boy down to San Diego.
I felt more confident going with him, just keeping our like just doing my thing with my friend. I was like, dude, I don't want to like, I don't know anybody here. And like I felt like at that time it was before there was like that whole new wave of pros. Like I feel like maybe it wasn't that way for you guys, but I feel like for me it was like right when Jamie turned pro, it was like the whole skateboard industry was like, oh shit, like we gotta start turning all these kids pro. Like, it happened so fast. Like, and I feel like it was just before that. So there was like
stagnant kind of.
Well, it was like you were either on or you were like fighting for like the spot, you know. There was like a lot of dudes like, and in that area were like Foundation, Toy Machine, Element, like a lot of those teams, which I didn't know if I was going to skate for those teams, you know. Like I got like Organica boards through the shop.
Oh, that's dope. But that's a good question. Did you have your eye on a certain company? Because I feel like as a skater, you feel where you fit in. So this story is kind of trippy too. I feel like, Chris, you love these moments where it like comes full circle. I feel like I always catch you on the show being like, that's so crazy how it comes full circle. Let's go. I feel like I got so many weird things like that. But so I was getting shop float Organicas through this shop in Florida. Shout out Jake Mednick, because he was holding me down.
Oh, Jake's the fucking man.
He was holding me down. Yeah. Like, I know Ish was talking about, there was a lot of kids in South Florida that he held down, because I think he was from Florida.
Yep.
Yeah. So he was like hooking up everybody. And I remember the first box I ever got, and I don't think it was his fault, but it was one shirt. I just got a box, and it was Organica shirt.
Was it a box?
Yeah, it came to the shop. So, and I remember the dude.
What a dirty trick.
The dude Joe at the skate shop was like, I'm so sorry. Like, this isn't how it's supposed to be. Like, whatever. I was like, it's all good, dog. Threw the shirt on. I was like, I never got anything for free in my
What shirt was it?
It was like an Organica shirt. Okay. Yeah, I think it was like a big ass picture of like weed or something. And I didn't even smoke. So I was like, I was like, dude, it was a free shirt. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I was hyped. And then I think I maybe got some Converse through the shop too at that same time. But I remember Jake like getting on through the shop. And then Jake reached out to me like, yo, I'll take care of you, like, whatever, what's your sizes and stuff. And he kind of fucked up, like, giving me his contact, because I just started flooding him with footy. Like, I was yo, like, I don't know, I feel like I was kind of like, I'm like a persistent, if I want something, I was like, okay, cool, this dude's going to, like, hook me up. Like, I'm going to let him know I'm fucking grinding, or I'm skating hard, you know? So I was sending him footy every month, had, like, little tapes on YouTube, like, little links that we would put together. And there was a point where I think I was maybe getting like 2 boards or a board or something. And then he was like, yo, like, I don't know if we can like hook you up through the team manager, because it's not really like my thing. But what I can do is like, I think you're really good. And like, I think it's sick. You keep like me in the loop and you're getting better all the time. And he was like, I'm going to just send you like the biggest boxes I can, like, to your place. So he was like he would send me like a proper box, like 4 boards or whatever.
Dope.
And like bunch of shirts. And he was even doing that in California when I don't even think he was supposed to, because I was like riding for a shop in Florida. Wow. So he was like holding me down when I feel like to him it was, I don't know, he was like, you're skating hard and like you should probably get these boards, you know? Like he was like, I think you deserve the boards.
This was when you were in Long Beach or San Diego?
That was when I was in Long Beach. So
it's so funny, man. Because I'm getting like you wanted to like, you're like wallflower, right? But then you're like persistent guy.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I just want to be with my homie. It seems like you're like kind of like, what do I really want here?
I feel like in the grand scheme, like face to face was way harder for me than like, I don't know. I always felt like I'm gonna just skate hard.
Yeah.
And that's just going to talk for me.
Okay.
Like that was kind of like my
way to do it.
personality. Was like, okay, I don't need to tell this dude like, hey, I want all these boards. I'm like, I'm just going to keep sending him footy and like maybe he'll give it to somebody that, you know what I mean? Like I just felt like that was the answer to everything.
Interesting.
Like, and I don't know if it really worked. Like
sounds like it. I mean, did you get the biggest box you've ever gotten?
I actually ended up, I think I got let go eventually. Like I think something happened where he couldn't give me boards no more or something. And,
because again, this is shop floor.
Yeah. I think it just got to the maybe he left. He might have left.
Okay.
I don't know. It was kind of right before Organica went away.
Gotcha.
So that sort of like fell through.
What year was this?
2013.
Yeah,
14.
That's what I was gonna guess.
2013.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was hooking it up the best he could, which I was like, yo, respect. Like, because I saw dudes he was sending boards to that weren't like, he was sending me a lot of boards for like the other dudes he hooked up. So I was like, fuck.
Did you picture yourself on Organica? Or
I don't know.
Was there another company?
Walker Iron was like one of my favorite skaters.
Oh, hell yeah.
And for sure, he like was a huge influence on like me being the skater I am now.
I could actually see that. Like
Yeah.
those male nollie flips and
Dude,
all. Yeah.
Like, so that was really cool when the shop kind of like presented like, hey, we can like get you on a KO brand because I guess they did well with the shop or whatever. And I was like, oh, Organica for sure. Because Walker, I think, had just turned pro. Like my first board that actually came in a box, not the first box, but like the first board I got out of the box was like a Walker Pro model. And I was so hyped. Now in hindsight, I wish I didn't skate it. Because like it was that wine board. I was like, damn, that board was sick.
I have that board. Yeah.
Dude, that board is sick.
Yeah, it's tight.
But so yeah, I guess maybe I saw it working, but what was...
But it never... I was just wondering if you had like a company that you saw yourself on, you know?
That's,
like...
I feel like I'm just like going in circles because we kind of started...
No, well, let's bring it full circle back around.
So Organica stops giving me boards. I think Converse had stopped giving me shoes right when I left because it was like, you're not in Florida, I can't help you. Like a rep. So I was like, I get it, whatever. So somebody I forget, maybe it was Jake, I don't know, somebody got me in touch with someone at Globe and I was getting Globes and I got a text from, I want to say the Globe dude, this dude Steve, and he was like, hey,
Black?
Yes, it was Steve Black.
Gotcha.
Maybe email me, but it was like, hey, what do you think about Almost? And this is like 19-year-old me.
2013, 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was like, what do you think about Almost? And I was like, dude, what? Like, yeah, for sure. Like at that time I was, you know, I feel like I saw myself skating for a brand like Almost, but I just didn't know how to get to it. You know, I didn't know James. I didn't know, like, I didn't have the
James
resources.
Craig.
Yeah. So James Craig was sending me some Almost boards and, yeah, it was like not the same kind of, I feel like James was more like, oh, this is Steve's homie, so here's some boards.
Homie of a homie.
I would get like 2 or 3 boards and, yeah, I'm trying to think that I lived in San Diego at that time and I was getting Almost boards. And I think I went to San Diego and I spent like a summer back home and I was filming with my friend Mikey that made all the Florida Day stuff. So I still had a bunch of homies living in Florida. So I'd make trips home while I was like living in California, but like I was kind of bouncing back and forth. So
I'm just curious because if you were getting Almost boards in like 2013, I feel like you've been slept on for a long time, you know?
I was telling you at the beginning of this, I was like, dude, there's a lot to tell.
Yeah.
So
because like when did
The circle isn't complete.
Let's give perspective right now because like when did you actually get on Enjoi? I mean, I'm sorry, Almost.
Way later.
That's what I'm saying.
Way later.
That's what I'm saying.
And it was like, dude, weird shit. Like, I don't know. I feel like skating is just a whole mashup of like crazy coincidences and like timing. And I kind of understood that like later on, but like then you're just skating. Like I was just skating and like, you know, I didn't know that like, oh, I needed to try and go out with the dudes or, you know what I mean? Like I was like naive to it all.
There's a little more to it than just sending footage in sometimes.
At that time.
Because we're talking like later. We're like 2019.
Oh, that's
when you get on.
Yeah.
So we're 2013 to.
And there was a lot of gray areas between all that. Like I was getting boards from other brands.
Yeah.
And then.
No, I remember it because like, we were always wondering. Amazing. What the hell's going on with John Dilo?
Dude, hey.
Like what? Like everybody's sleeping on this dude.
No, I wanted to say this earlier. I wanted to say this earlier right when I sat in this chair. But like you guys have shown me so much love from like, I don't even know how long ago since y'all started this to like where it is now. So,
dude,
we're big fans.
We're big fans.
Kelly, for real, like
we can spot talent, bro.
I feel like as much as like I'm telling my story sitting here, like you guys are also like part of it because you guys helped. Like you guys would talk about anything I had come out, and like even when there was no real reason to, you know, I was like, damn.
No, there's a reason to because like we want to talk about great skateboarding. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're and like. You and then also you being here, like we'd see you around and like, you know, it's like, what the what is going on? Like here's this guy that's just killing it, and he's on this guy. I mean, we could talk about what companies you have flowed from, but like, what? How come? Why is it not happening? Why is it not happening with this dude? Like, what is going on, dude?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, you made it happen. You made it happen.
We'll get there.
But we were all tripping. That nothing was going on because like, but then I feel like also, man, I feel like you just fucking exploded overnight. Like I feel like you just turned the fucking switch, you press that button and you launch the missile and you were going, dude.
I kind of always felt like, even back then, I would talk to my friend David a lot. It's weird calling him David. Everybody calls him Steak. But I just didn't want to like confuse
What up, Steak? How you
doing? But no, we would talk about it and I was like, you know, like I felt like all this time I was just like wanting like a chance, you know. I was like, if I get the chance, like I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna do it the fullest I can, you know, given like if I got hurt or whatever. I was like, I knew not what I was capable. It was like I knew what I wanted and I knew what would get me there, but it was like I just never got that eventually. But for so long it felt like, you know, I mean, all you guys have been in the skate industry a long time. You know, it's not just good skating. Everybody knows it's not just good skating.
It's a lot more.
I don't think I've ever offended anybody, wronged anybody. I just think it's like wrong timing. Like you try and get in with a brand where it's like
timing is everything really too, though.
And I don't know. I'm kind of grateful it all happened the way it did.
No, I mean, like you're in a great
so much, dude.
For sure.
You're in a great place right now. I mean, you're pro for almost. You got the Hours shoes, Bryan Herman. I mean, like
Shake John.
Shout out to Shane Heil. Like, but who were you flowed for in that 2013 to 2019? I feel like you were on like a bunch of different flows.
Changed companies. A lot, but some of it was like, I don't know. I feel like there's
of all, what happened with Enjoi? Okay. I mean, I don't know why I keep calling it Enjoi. What happened with Almost after the first initial flow?
Yeah, so. Well, I give Louie shit sometimes to this day about it because I'm like, bro, go through your emails. I used to email you, bro.
Luis Cruz?
And he would just ghost me or whatever. But like, I'm like, yeah, bro, like whatever. But fucking whatever. I was getting Almost boards. Shout out James Craig. I love James. He's a good friend of mine, and I'm like, I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh, James had a bad call or something, but it's like I get it, and like I respect like what he saw, what was going on, because I remember getting a few boards from him, like however long a year, and I think he shot me an email one day because I was like, I tried to get boards from him and he kind of like didn't answer me, and I was like, oh, I don't know. He shot me an email and he was like, hey dude, like just want to like catch you up on what's going on with Almost, like we're gonna put on some dudes and like they're just dudes we've been keeping pretty tight, and like if you want us to talk to some of the other brand managers, we could work out like trying to get maybe like swap you onto a different brand. And this was 2013 or something. And I was like, I mean, dude, like I kind of knew I wasn't getting on Almost because I was like I was unknown. And
who were
like,
they putting on?
Tyson, Bowerbank, and Fran Molina.
Okay.
Okay.
That was at that time. And Yuri.
Oh, Yuri too.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Yuri got on first, but that was the dudes I ended up seeing get on. So
Because he came from Blind to ride for them, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's right.
he left Blind and then got on Almost a little bit after. But yeah, they made that AM video and stuff. And I was like, I want to skate for Cliche. And he was like, I was like, okay, if, you know, given the circumstances, I was like, I want to skate for Cliche. And he was like, it's kind of tight right now. I don't know, whatever. And I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. Because I don't know. To me, I didn't want to skate for it. At that time, I was like, I don't want to force anything. I don't want to just switch. I was like, I'll figure it out. So,
and you don't want to be in a company that you're not fully like invested in.
Yeah,
and
and
it's something you're not backing.
It was like I understood where he came from. I wasn't like insulted. I kind of saw it because I felt like he was giving me boards just out of like, you know, you're doing good skating. Here's some boards. Like I didn't feel like, oh, we're gonna like, you know, we never had a talk like that. It was just kind of like through Steve and stuff. And I'm trying to think what ended up happening. So I remember being like, I know Jeremy Docklin.
Jeremy Docklin, yeah.
That's how you say it?
Yeah,
Docklin?
he's owner of Cliche.
So I knew that he was, so get this, my fucking persistent ass again.
Oh, here we go.
I started just firing off emails, just trying to figure out his email to send footy to him. I was like,
Jeremy.Dacklin,
No.
Jeremy Dacklin, J Dacklin.
I swear to God. And I like,
amazing.
so I would do it. I swear to God. I would do it and I would get a reply that was like, this email doesn't exist. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And then I would try a different one. And like, I think I just gave up. I was like, whatever, I'm fucking crazy, right? So I wake up in the morning and Jeremy had replied to me. I swear to God, dude. And he was like, it was like pretty broken English. But it was like, hey, footy's good. Like, he said something about Joey. He was like, don't show Joey your nose, Manny. He's going to be jealous. So he said something silly. And I was like, oh, sick. Like, whatever. I got the student's attention, you know?
Got through to him.
I
What
think,
was the email?
I don't remember. Dude.
I'm gonna blast Jeremy's I mean, Cliche's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I just fired off like, I don't know, 15 different email combinations
love
until
that,
it worked.
bro.
So
That's amazing determination.
I
there.
love
Bro.
that.
Fuck.
I feel bad because I feel like I kind of put James in a weird spot
fuck it.
eventually.
Fuck it.
And
You went over
James,
his
I
head.
love you, dog. I'm glad, like, you know, it's all good. I'm glad you didn't hate me for doing
No,
this.
go to the
So-
go to the source, bro. You go to the owners of the company.
So so now this fool just opened the floodgates. So he's like, every month I'm just sending him footy and I'm not riding Cliche boards. I was just like, hey, I got some new shit, you know? And like at this point I was kind of like more confident in my skating. I felt like I found out what type of skater I wanted to be. I was like really hyped to be in San Diego because Walker skated a lot of the San Diego spots and I was like, fuck, like UCSD spots, like downtown San Diego spots. And like, I knew what I wanted to do with my skating.
Okay.
So I was like pretty confident in the footage I was getting. So I was like, boom, 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 hitting this fool. And he would just reply to me like, oh, cool stuff. And then maybe like 2 or 3 months after the initial email, he like linked me in with Al Boglio, who was the brand manager, and CC'd in James Craig. And he was like, hey, like pretty much like, I don't remember his exact words, but he's pretty much like, this kid just keeps sending me footage. Can somebody send him boards? Like, that's kind of what like it ended up being like, you know, because he got the point of what I was after. And then James just like, I remember James replying, he's like, yeah, dude, what's a good address? Like, I got you. Like, he just replied to it because he's like, well, now you went around and all. And like, and I was like, God damn it. I remember feeling kind of like a clown. I was like, fuck, dude. Like, James probably is like, this fucking kid, dude.
Did you have you ever talked to James about that story?
Not
Directly.
Yeah, not directly,
that's
but
what-
like-
you guys should. James is such a rad. I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
Yeah,
you,
he
he was.
understand.
You guys would have a
100%.
good laugh about it.
Oh, dude,
for
yeah.
sure.
Like, James is the greatest. And
Yeah.
like from then on, it was like, I feel like James and I bonded a lot through that experience
Okay.
because, so I skated for Cliche. That was until it went out. So that was like where I was really trying to do my shit. Like riding for Cliche. Shout out Al Boglio because he really looked out for me, and Joey too.
Yeah.
I remember
What year did it go out? Do you remember? Do we remember 2015?
It was like
15?
no, I think.
Or was it 14?
It was after. I think
16?
it was 2016.
Oh, yeah, because they had the video.
Just before. Yeah.
So wait a minute. So
Yeah.
you were on there for at least 2 or 3 years on Flow for Cliche.
yeah.
Oh
So-
shit. Okay.
And then from all in that period of time, Jamie Foy is driving cross country. He comes and stays at our house one night. He's lighting up some spots and shit. And he kind of tells me like, yo, we're all going to move to Long Beach, like get a skate house thing going. Do you want to come back? And like, he was pretty much like, dude, you might as well be back in Florida living in San Diego. He was like, not that it's like so out of reach, but he was like, LA's like the thick of it, you know?
Right,
and
yeah.
like, I think he was diving into like filming a recruit or something, like right when he got there. So he was already like in the mix.
Who was he skating for at the time?
I think he was getting Baker boards.
Baker, okay.
Like Andrew.
He wasn't on Death Wish.
No, he wasn't on the team yet. And so I was like, I talked to Steak and like whoever I lived with at the time. And I was just like, dude, I think I'm going to just go up there. I was like, I feel like I was working a job. I was working at like a pizza place and it sucked. And I was just like, fuck, dude, like Jamie's right. If I'm going to do the skate shit, I should probably just go live with them and see what happens. And
plus you got a good crew.
And dude, for him to even extend that invitation to me was kind of crazy because we weren't like boys. We were kind of just like fans of each other, you know? We like respected each other.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the best dude.
I didn't know him that personally at that time. It was like, he was like, yo, come live with me. I was like, for real? Like, what if I'm the worst? Like, what if, you know what I mean? You don't even, like,
real talk. Like, you don't even know me.
No, for real. I was like, we haven't lived together, but he's like, no, like, you want to do the skate shit? Like, come with us, dude. Yeah. So that was really rad. Like, that changed everything. Like, that actually changed everything. So I was skating for Cliche. I was also getting Lakai's at that time.
I remember, yeah.
So, this was when things kind of started to excel with like Cliche. I felt like I went to the barracks with Jamie, and you know that Chase sees all of us, and he's like, "Yo, these kids are kind of doing it," you know. So we all kind of started filming in there at that time.
Dope.
And I remember one time, I saw Joey in there, and I'd kind of met Joey before at like a Wheelie Dope event or something, the courthouse stage, but I didn't do well. The first one I ever skated, so it wasn't like he was like, "Oh, this kid's
yeah."
But saw him at the barracks, and my board broke trying to trick, and he was like, and James still had me on kind of the similar flow. It was like only a couple boards, and I mean I jump off stuff. So like my boards are always breaking and shit, you know. So like filming in the park, my board broke, and Joey like my board like slid out to him or something. He was like, "Oh, you're right. You get Cliche boards from James?" I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of like a newer thing. Like it's only been a few months or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, you got more boards?" I was like, "Nah, like I don't got any boards." And he was like, "What? Like you're in here filming and stuff? Like what?" And he like texted James and was like, "Yo, like this dude's in here doing this. He broke a board. He said he doesn't have any more. Like you give this dude boards. Like hook him up, dude." Wow. Like, and then dude, that next box I got was like, it was like 8 boards. It was like a ton of boards, and I was like, damn, like Joey hooked it up, dude.
That's a good feeling right there. Yeah,
pushed up a level there.
Yeah, it felt like he was. I don't know. He didn't need to do that. You know, he didn't need to do that.
Right.
So like,
that's the biggest thing about getting on a company is having that right person on the team give you that good word.
Yeah, but Joey's also like a super nice dude. Like Joey's always looking out for like talent as well.
Yeah.
And for him not to even probably realize that you were even on Cliche flow was like this kind of shock to him. Like, wait, what's going on here? Like, here's this dude that's doing it, but I'm not even aware. Like, send this dude some shit.
You're rocking our shit. Like,
yeah, he was like a huge catalyst to like me going to Dwindle, like meeting Al, like kicking it with those dudes, and kind of like I was never on. It was, I just feel like it was like the heaviest flow I'd had until being on almost. Basically.
I mean, but listen, you got the Cliche was an amazing company, man. I actually really miss that company because they used to do I've been on a Cliche trip. They just invited me to go to like, you know, Switzerland and south of France and all these places with them. I mean, they had a great time, and like Lucas Puig, Kevin Bradley was on. Like, dude, it was great.
Dude, Kale Newski, all the in the OG stuff. Yeah, when that company went out, I was really surprised.
Yeah, me too.
I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, I remember like, dude, I found out in kind of the craziest way. It happened twice. I went to Cherry one day, and some dude like I'd set up a board, and some dude was like, "Oh, like it's a sick board. It sucks what happened to them," and I was like, "What?" And then he was like, "Yeah, you didn't hear? Like they're out of business." I was like, "What? Like there's no way that's true."
Why didn't
and then
hear
like
this?
2 or 3 days later, I remember going to Stoner, and somebody said like borderline the same thing to me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "This is so weird. Like this is so strange that random people would know this, and I didn't."
Yeah.
And I was like, not that I should have. It's not like I was a pro over the brand or something, but I was
but
just
how
like,
do they know?
Yeah, exactly.
The Trump
I was
told
like,
them.
The slap message board or
Yeah,
something?
it's LA, man.
It just was like that first initial time kind of like it felt like a knot in my chest. I was like, no way, dude. Like,
well, here you've come such a long way, man. And now you finally kind of found this home, and it just gets pulled out from under you, dude.
So like, I remember calling James, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, like it's actually on its way. He told me like it's going down basically.
Okay.
He was like, it's next year, it's not going to exist. I think it was like November or something when I found out, and he was like, next year it's going to be done. So I was like, damn, like fucking what?
You're like, what about almost?
No, dude. You know what's crazy? I didn't really, from then on, like this whole like persistent thing I felt like pretty lost, because I feel like if I really sat down at that time and were like, what's my favorite skateboard company? I was like, Cliche was, you know, especially like the relationship I built with them. I was like, this is my favorite brand going to shit. Like, I was like, this fucking hurts. Yeah. And, you know, Al helped me start getting Adidas. Like I remember Lakai made cuts, and then he helped me get on Adidas. Gotcha. So like they were like, they had my back, you know? And now Al actually works at Adidas. So it's like, it was just like, I felt like these dudes actually were looking out for my best interest. Like Joey, everybody I'd met that was like involved with it. And,
they're all really great dudes.
Yeah, it was super sick. And it kind of like felt like it was just like a kick to the chest. I was like, dude, and a couple people reached out, and as it's kind of like breaking up with a chick or getting dumped, you're like, I'm just not ready. I don't want to just like get your boards and ride them. Like I don't like some of the brands, you know, I was like,
were they good brands, or were they just kind of,
it wasn't something that nothing was like, oh, this is a great substitute. Okay. It was like flattering, you know, because at this point I felt like, wow, people are taking notice in what I'm doing. And I had maybe like a part come out on Thrasher or two or something. And, so I don't know. I felt like I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. And I knew if I waited too long, or if I kept kind of giving people cold shoulder, all the opportunities would go away. So I was just like, oh man, this is kind of like, this is really hard. And I think I started, there's like a ton of speculation around it, but like I think Jamie helped me get some boards from Baker Boys. So I was riding.
Speculation though?
Like, because people were like thinking I was on Death Wish, or like riding for Death Wish.
That's the problem with the internet, is as soon as you have a different board on, or a blank board or anything different, speculations.
And I knew it was going to happen with whatever I started riding after, because there was that little bit of like, oh, people were kind of like, I had some stuff coming
It's
out.
weird for a writer to go through that, to go through those comments, and to know like, dude, I'm not on Cliche. I never got on, but here these guys are helping me out. Yeah. And here now everybody thinks I'm on, and it's like, it's weird because now it's like the boss is there, and you're like, dude, I'm not telling everybody I'm on. Like, I'm just like, it's the internet talking. Like, and I'm sure they realize that too, but it could put a writer in a weird spot.
For sure. And I did feel like, I mean, maybe you guys have seen this, but it seems almost like when you kind of outgrow the position, if you get too good, or like you kind of like, I don't know. So I feel like I see it less now, because people are really quick to like get people moving, because they know like, oh, this dude will be pro in a year, you know? But I feel like it was, I don't know, if you kind of like fumbled a little bit and you didn't land somewhere and you were really getting good, it was like awkward for a brand, because they were like, well, if we put you on, we already have AMs, and if we put you on,
you're like pro level.
Yeah. So not that I felt like that was where I was at, but it felt like,
how old were you at the time too when you started getting Baker stuff? Is this like 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, 22?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. It was like right when pretty much I went on Jamie's Skater of the Year trip. Yeah. And that was Cliche had just been done. Okay. So I think that was maybe a year of just floating. Like 2017, I was just like riding what I got my hands on. Maybe like got some boxes from some people, but like nothing felt right.
Wait a minute. When year did Jamie win Skater of the Year?
2017.
That is crazy to me. I feel like he just won like yesterday.
Yeah, that's what it seems
5
like,
years.
man.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Just flies by, dude.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Okay,
Super crazy. No, you're good. I mean, I trip out on that too, because I think about when I went on that trip. It was like the very beginning of 2018. So I guess somewhere between the whole year of 2017, I started like, I remember Jeff Lenosi gave me a few boards, like just because I rode for Shake Junt, and like I kind of had like a little bit of like a spark going. Like I had some stimulation with my whole skate thing, and you know that those dudes, they don't want to see me struggle. They want me to have boards to skate, you know, like they're skaters. Everybody understands the situation, and like getting on the team and getting like, I don't know if that was an opportunity. I've seen it happen for like I saw how it went down for Pedro. I saw how it went down for Foy. Like Andrew just called him. He's pretty adamant when he like knows what he likes.
Sometimes it's just about what that person does with that opportunity. Even if it's just a couple boards, like, hey, you're the homie, we're gonna hook you up. It's like, what do you do with that? Do you just say, hey, thanks, and go on your way?
Yeah.
Or do you really just go, okay, this could be something, but it could not be. I'm gonna fucking take full advantage of this.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna go out fucking hard.
You're right. I was just skating, and like I kind of still felt like just. I mean, dude, those dudes at Baker are like my second family, you know? Like I love all those dudes. The whole Deathwish team, they're all great friends. They're sick people. And like, I mean, maybe it was an opportunity. Yeah. It was never like I said, I saw how it went down for Jamie. Jamie stepped out of his bedroom one day and was like, Andrew Reynolds just called me and asked me to skate for Deathwish. Dude. And we were like, holy shit, dude. And like, you know.
Julian Davidson.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. So I'm like, I see how it goes down, you know? And like, I just. It was never. I never like Andrew Reynolds just called me and asked me to skate for. I would have done it. You know what I'm saying? I'd have done it. So like, I was just.
What's that one movie? Oh man, with it's like the end of the world, and they're like calling people, and they're like, hey,
Jonah. Is it Jonah Hill's in that movie?
It's like a serious movie. It's like they call someone. They're like, hey, yeah, you get to go on the ship or whatever that's gonna save the world, and like. I'm going home to check if like Andrew Reynolds has called me. I'm gonna go check my phone. Like,
go check the messages real quick.
Yeah, like it sounds like Andrew Reynolds look out after a lot of you guys, man.
Yeah, for
listen,
sure,
the boss texts me, but it's not to get on any company. I'll tell you that,
dude. And he's looked out. We've talked about. He like reached out to me about like, yo, like I want you to try and figure out like a board company to skate for. Like he's reached out to me like that at that time, you know. So he was looking out, and I feel like. It would have been different if he wanted me to skate for one of the brands. And I wasn't trying to make any, I wasn't going to like.
Well, you don't want to be pushy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the thing you want. You know, got to, like, it's a weird fine line when you're in these positions and you're like, now you're in a position too where you're not going to be the dude sending Andrew Reynolds a clip every day. Like you just don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I knew now.
You know what I mean?
I'd outgrown it. Yeah.
So you're like, it's that fine line. Like, how do you? So how do you? Okay.
So I rode Deathwish boards for a while, and it was just from my point of view, it's like this dude skates for Junt. He's Jamie's homie. Like. It was sick to be able to ride like my friend's pro model. Jamie turned pro, and like it was cool. But like I said, I just didn't know what it really was turning into. I get it. It's all good. Like I fully get it. Pedro had just gotten on at that time, and I'm like, fuck, man. I also kind of felt like, would I fit here? Like I do Manny's.
That's
and
another thing too.
It was just like a weird. It was almost like a confliction, you know. So I was.
It sucks to feel like that.
Yeah, it was just like I don't know, like this would be so rad, but it was like I just didn't know where I stood and like if it was like gonna make sense for me to like really pursue. And like I said, I love those guys.
Because you want it to feel organic and like it's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like and that's kind of what I was almost. Maybe I fucked up by like looking for that straight from Cliche because that was kind of how I felt. I felt like not only accepted but sort of like, oh no, this is like our dude. Like I felt kind of like a camaraderie to it, not like more than flow. And I just didn't know if I was expecting that somewhere else or like, I don't know, maybe my expectation was kind of like
every company is different though.
For sure.
I remember being on trips with Jamie and he would definitely be speaking highly of you. You know what I mean? So I knew that he was definitely pushing in whatever direction that he was trying to get the homie up, like on game, like that. I know that he was doing.
And that's the thing too, is like, I mean, even on this show, like we all saw you and we all were like, dude, this dude is insane. And that's what I was saying before. It's like, what is going on with this guy? Like everybody's sleeping on him. He can't like land on a fucking sponsor to save his life. You know, when you have a Jamie Foy backing you, a Zion backing you, you know, the 9 Club backing, you know what I mean? Like we're like rooting for you.
I appreciate the shit out of it. I appreciate it. Like there was this sense of like almost like these people speculating like you guys, kind of just like coming out from like on the internet, like these internet, what is it, like warriors or whatever you guys
fighting for the good fight,
dude. It's like it was crazy. It was like kind of crazy to feel like there was this whole like underground side of skating that was kind of just like.
Like positive, like rooting for you.
Because they're seeing what we're seeing, you know what I mean? Like,
well, you can't deny good skateboarding, you know? And it's like, if you're a good skateboarder and you're fucking out there killing it and no company's biting, you're like, dude.
There's
what the
like
fuck is going on?
Especially when there's so many brands now. It's like it's not
Yeah.
just look. There's still selective amount of brands that obviously stand out. We all
Yeah.
know who those brands are.
Yeah.
But there's brands beyond those as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
So
for
it's just
sure.
like
So I mean, dude,
Shane, I gotta say something too. Shane Hale, he's helped. I know, like he would call me, be like, "Man, I'm trying to find John a fucking shoe sponsor." Blah blah. It's like that's fucking rad that this
Yeah.
dude is reaching out and like trying to help connect dots on certain.
Well,
things.
Shane's a real one.
Yeah,
he definitely is.
dude, I mean, I feel like all the sponsors I've ended up with, like it's they really care, you
Yeah,
know, like
that's
they really
important.
care, and
Yeah.
it's I don't know, I wouldn't want anything any different, you know,
Yeah.
like I really wouldn't, and I had to do whatever, pursue through like tons of not knowing what was going on, a lot of mental shit, dude. When you get into your mid-20s and you're still like,
I was gonna say
I had a lot of like.
I'm getting old.
There was a lot of
I'm
like,
gonna be Man-Am forever.
seeing Jamie, Zion, Tyson all like turn pro and they're like younger than me. You're like, I did though have an honest like, you really got to like look in the mirror and tell yourself like it is all good if this don't happen.
Yeah.
And
Fuck yeah.
I had to really face that like, dude, not only like close friends, but now have become some of my best friends. Like through everything we've been through, like seeing them achieve it. Fuck what I get, dude. Like
but
I got
dude-
to watch that happen for some of my best friends. That's just as cool. Like
Yeah.
for me to swallow it like that, like
Yeah.
that was kind of what was helping me ease like, all right, if it don't work, dude, I got to travel. I got to go to Australia with Jamie. I got to fucking like be at Jamie's pro party. I got to be with Zion like through the rides of it. It was just like I gotta just appreciate like the experiences I'm having and like not see it as like, oh, poor me. Like fuck
Yeah,
that.
but sometimes, I mean, looking back, you could say, but like when you're in that moment, but man, sometimes fighting the good fight is like, you appreciate everything.
Dude.
Like
That's why you deserve it more,
tenfold.
bro. Real talk. You've been complacent. You've been patient. You know what I mean? And like, and you're staying on your path,
Yeah.
and showing improving in each video part. And you know what I mean? Anytime we're seeing shit, we're like, damn, bro.
Like doing manuals in contests. We're like,
Yeah,
bro,
you know what I mean? So
this guy's at Tampa Pro doing manuals like in his run. Like,
over rails to manuals.
yeah, like come on, bro.
I was
like, what is going on?
It
with this
felt
guy?
like I kind of had to circle back to like just skate, dude.
Yeah,
Like once you had to, once I, like 24 years old, I remember being like, I gotta just swallow this. If it don't happen, I'm just gonna skate until like skating gets pride from me.
Sure.
You know, like, and I just always wanted to focus on video parts. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I didn't care if there was like a board with my name on it. Like you get to that point where you're just like, I'll just ride my friends' boards. I would circulate if I wasn't a pro skater, I'd ride a Zion board, a Jamie board, a Tyson board, an Ish board. I would just ride all my homies.
but it's not
Support
like
your
it.
band,
But it's
support
not.
Joey.
But it's not like you even gave up though. It's
No.
like you
No.
were just like, and not even became complacent. You were like, okay, let me get back to skating.
Yeah.
Let me have my board speak for me.
Yeah, and
know?
that was like kind of what I was doing the whole time,
Yeah.
but I did feel like I needed to try and get a grip because I felt like after Cliche I was kind of just like gray area. I was like floating, and I was just skating hard the whole time. But I also was like, I need boards. I can't keep buying boards or like.
Well, what happened after the Baker Death Wish scenario?
Shout out Cairo Foster. I went to an Adidas like shoe release party.
Okay.
I forget. Shire like invited me. I went to a Adidas shoe release party in downtown LA, and it was the same day a Thrasher party had come out of mine. And I remember thinking it was a little awkward. I almost didn't go. I was like, "Fuck, you step
My
out."
part just came out.
Yeah, you
Here
know.
I am.
I was like, "Ooh, I don't know. This is gonna be kind of weird."
sure.
And so I went, and honestly, no one really talked about it to my face, which I kind of appreciated. I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, this would be more awkward if everybody was like, "Cool part, dude." Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
congrats, dude.
So, so pretty much, Cairo used to work at Adidas.
Yeah.
He was there, and he sparked the conversation with me
Right.
about it, and we had met before and stuff.
And he was at Enjoi at the time. He was still on.
He still was.
Was this before or after his
this was before his retirement. I went
This
to
is
the
before.
retirement
Okay.
party.
Got you.
So he was like, "Yo, like the part was cool. Like, kind of like, are you getting boards?" And I was like, "Yeah, like you know, Baker boys they like help me with boards. Like Jeff gives me some boards or like Jamie or whoever." And he was like, "Man, like if you want, I could like talk to Louie." And like he was talking to me about, "Oh, like I'll see what if Louie's down to give you boards or something." And I was like, "Damn, for real?" Like, cause I don't know, for Cairo to look out, I just didn't expect it. I really just didn't expect it. And I was like, kind of not holding out too much. I was just like, maybe, you know, like, I don't know. I didn't know those dudes, so I didn't know what to make of it. I kind of was just like, I'm gonna just keep skating, whatever. And actually, Louie ended up getting back to me. He shot me an email, and he was like, yo, dude, like, Kyra was talking highly about you. Like, you want to get on a call, whatever? And I was like, whoa, sick. So I was tripping. At this point, I was like, oh, what? Back at Dwindle? Like, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, weird. And so me and Louie, whatever, I think we might have not even called. We might have just had like a text message conversation. But he was like, yeah, dude, I'll send you some boards. Like, you know, Cairo thinks highly of you. Like, no promises that, you know, we can like whatever. And I was like, dude, I just, at this point, like, if I can get a consistent, like, it's something promising, you know, where at least I'm on somebody's like radar.
Sure. And just boards to skate.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, I was getting boards to skate with Death Wish and stuff. But I kind of felt like maybe I could skate for... Maybe I could.
You would fit Enjoi for yeah.
I felt like it was something that like, okay, like, you know, Cliche's gone, but I'm like, it kind of gave me that fulfillment that like, it almost felt like, okay, this might be where I end up if Cliche's not working.
Plus the history of Enjoi. I mean, it's a fucking legendary company. You got Louie Barletta running that thing now.
Yeah.
Like,
so I remember meeting a bunch of those guys. I met Deeds at had an event they threw at Pharmacy. I met a lot of those dudes like shortly after that. I went and stayed at Louie's house like
rad.
I spent like a week straight in the rain at Louie's house in San Jose with Ben Ramers.
Sick.
Like,
oh, wow.
And then like it was shortly after everything happened.
Oh,
and I was like, it was the craziest feeling to be like, you just get so close to somebody and then, you know what I mean? It was crazy, dude. And like, he's such a rad dude. I was like, I was hyped after we hung out, you know. I was like, damn. He was like, come to London, mate. We'll like, I'll show you around. All this, and we just literally were like drinking at Louie's house for like 7 days, just because it rained. We couldn't skate, and it was sick. And it's
like just going up there. You went up there to probably skate, and like film and do stuff, but just that moment, that 7 days is probably worth way more, to you than to go out and skate. Yeah, just going out and skating.
No, for sure. And you don't realize it at the time, you know. You don't even know, and then. It takes like the hindsight to be like, holy shit, that was really cool. I got to experience that.
Special.
And yeah, dude, like hanging out with Louie, he's the shit.
He's the best.
I was like, bro, you're fucking like, I just love getting to know like when you really get to know somebody and they're just like who they are, you know? And it's not like this front. I don't know. I just love that. I'm like, Louie, he's like the same. Best. He's just the same dude. Like I don't know. I just love it. I love
especially
hanging out
in
with
him.
His
environment. Like you're in his house, so you know he's gonna be his authentic self.
Well, there's pro skateboarder Louie, and then there's brand manager Louie.
Yeah.
He puts on his hat. He takes off one hat, puts the other one on.
Yeah, for sure. And like,
so what happened though?
What happened? I around that same time, this might have been mid 2018. I like set like an internal goal for myself. I was like, I want to get in the mag more because I got in. Maybe the year before, I got a venture ad. That was my first time ever being in the mag.
Sick. What trick was it?
I switch heeled over like that bar at the RingCon, those blocks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Dope. Who shot the photo?
My friend John Spitzer.
Rad.
He's the same one who shot Pedro Delfino's like cover, the board slide. Okay. And he's from Florida too. Dope. So he's like shot Jamie's first Death Wish ad, Pedro's first Death Wish ad, my first almost ad. He's like with all of us, you know. Rad. So
Florida,
it's super rad. Yeah, my first venture ad, my first time in the mag. Yeah, dude, it's like, come on, just come with us. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
But no, that was rad. That was my first time in the mag. But then I had like some editorial stuff from the Sodi trip. So I sort of was like, damn, what's something I could do more than just make video parts? I was like, I want to get in the fucking mag, you know? So I really like swallowed my pride and was like, I hit up Hammocky. RIP.
Yes.
Love that dude. I just cold texted him like, yo, dude, my name's John. Like, would you want to come shoot this trick? And I remember feeling so stupid, dude. I was like, this dude's just going to ghost me. Like, Thrasher photographer. I was just thinking like, there's not a reason in the world for this dude to come shoot me. And he was like, yeah, send me the address. What time? Like, just was so on it. That. And I was like, fuck yeah. And he met me. I ended up doing this trick again. And then he was like, oh, like, you're riding for Enjoi? Cool. Like, yeah, you know, Samaria, I skate with her, like, on these days. You want to come out? Like, we're working on an interview. I was like, sick. This dude's the shit. Like,
he's rad.
We skated for, like, 2 weeks straight and just, like, shot the majority of what was going to be a Thrasher interview that ended up happening, which was, I didn't even think was a possibility because I wasn't an AM, you know, or, like, really sponsored. So I was like, for me and Joe to, like, I kind of set the goal and then Joe to be so cool and just, like, oh, let's keep this going. Like, you're on fire. You're just getting, like, you're handling shit. So that pumped me up even more to try like and do more shit, harder tricks, like bigger shit, whatever. So we had all this rad shit, and maybe 6 months later, I'm still getting Enjoi boards.
Okay.
And Burn Dog texts me and he's like, "Yo, John, like just been looking through some photos and you have like a solid bit of stuff that like we could do an interview." And I was like, "For real? Like that happens? Like that's not like I don't know. I wasn't sponsored, so I didn't know that was how it would go down."
Yeah,
you
like
know?
they would probably just be like, "Oh, nope, not sponsored.
Yeah,
like let's get somebody else
let's
in
fill
here.
a slot with somebody who like you know is doing it right now." And
I feel like they hook people up like that though, like lunatic fringe stuff.
it wasn't even a lunatic fringe.
Oh, really?
It was just an interview. It was
Yeah,
a heads interview.
that's
like,
awesome.
And I was like, I don't know, dude. Burnett's like looked out for me a lot, dude, and he didn't need to do that. Like, and it was crazy because I kind of manifested it. I was like, oh, I want to get in the mag. I want to interview, or I want to do something like this dude's doing it. Like, you know what I mean? I want to like make it seem more cohesive.
And the fact that you reached out
Yeah.
to Joe to do that interview, because like I don't know what it is with skaters. Sometimes it's like maybe too prideful to like call up and ask for something like, hey, ask for a sponsor or whatever.
Yeah.
Lance Mountain called up Nike out of the blue to try to see if he can get shoes from him, and he's on Nike doing shoes with them, colorways. Like make the call.
Yeah.
No, being proactive definitely, you know, can take you further. I mean, I even heard even what Shane O'Neill did. He called, like, he went to the top of the top to get a pro shoe.
Right.
It wasn't going to be happening, and he did that. And I'm like, wow, bro, like, you're right. You know, some skaters they don't want to take that chance. You know
he's going to say no, or I'm going to get rejected. It's like the rejection factor.
I'll just ask Phil Knight.
Yeah, but it's like you got to just go, like, who cares, you know? Like, hey, can I get shoes? No. Okay.
Yeah,
great.
People know.
Great.
Sure.
There's other shoe companies out there.
But people know who you are at this point, though, too. Like these photographers know who you are.
Yeah. And
so it's not like you're some random kid. If you're like, I don't know who this dude is.
Right.
But I think the point is to like ask.
And it's so
Pick
hard
up the
for me
phone.
to see it that way. It was so hard for me to see it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Like telling
yeah.
yourself, like, yeah, motherfuckers know who I am. Like,
Yeah.
no shot. Like, no shot.
No.
Like, yeah, they know who Jamie is. Jamie's friend. Like, that's what I felt like was going on, and I was okay with it. Like, I was. I wasn't like it wasn't like a bruised ego or something. It was more just like, I don't know what the fear is. Yeah, the fear is like maybe not only rejection, but then being like, can you believe this dude just texted me to like shoot a fuck? Like maybe like word of mouth being like, this dude fucking.
But it's like,
texted
why
me.
do we feel like that? Like,
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
Like,
shouldn't.
not just you, just anybody.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
for
you
sure.
do have those reservations,
Dude,
like,
back in the day, people used to cold call companies because they put their phone number in the fucking magazine, and you just call them up and try to get shit.
yeah.
That's
But it's like
amazing.
that got lost along the way somewhere. It's like, dude, we just hit them up.
Yeah.
You never know what can come of it.
For sure. And like, yeah, I felt super like proud of myself that the opportunity was coming, and I didn't think it was going to change like everything for me, but it kind of did. And pretty much Burnett was like, who do you want to do the interview with? Like, do you have somebody that maybe, you know, would bring up something relative to your situation? And I was like, I mean, I went and hung out with Louie Barletta recently, and he's fucking hilarious. Like, it'd be sick if we did this interview together. So he was like, reach out to him, let me know, like, we'll work it out, whatever. And I texted Louie, and I was like, yo, can we get on the phone and talk about something, like, whatever? So he called me, and he was like, yo, like, what's going on? And I was like, yo, Burnett just hit me up to do an interview. I wanted to see if you wanted to, like, do the questions for me. And he was like, an interview? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, in the magazine? I was like, yeah. And he was like, can I call you back? I was like, yeah, for sure. And then he called me back like 2 minutes later, and he was like, yo, dude, like, I'm sorry. I just like had to call Burnett and confirm because like, he's like, dude, we like try really hard to get like our dudes in the mag, and you know, for them to just give you this opportunity is like not what I expected for you right now.
Wow.
Sick.
And I was like, I don't know. I didn't know either, you know? And he was like, dude, let me call you tomorrow. We got a meeting tomorrow at Dwindle, and like, I want to bring this up to everybody because he's like, you're doing it. And like, you deserve something for doing it. And I was like, that was the first time somebody's ever acknowledged what I was like. I felt super gratified to be like, oh shit, like Louie Barletta, a pro skater, is like, you deserve something here, dog. Like, good shit. And I was like, no one's really given me that, like, straightforward, you know?
That.
And I was like, fuck yes.
Fuck yeah.
I was so hyped.
You're seeing me, dog. You seeing
Yeah,
me.
I was just like, and I was not like, oh, tomorrow he's going to tell me like I'm going to get on. I wasn't thinking anything like that. I was like, the fact that he's giving me the acknowledgement at least was like, I'm not being fucked around with. It felt like it was like a real thing being noticed. pro to like a skater to skater.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he called me back the next day and he was like, yo, so like you're not gonna, this is like not probably what you're expecting, but Eunice wants you to skate for Almost. And I was like, what?
Eunice Amrani.
Yeah. And he was like, he's like, I know like that sounds so random and so like, you know, out of left field, but he was like, I guess he's been watching you skate for a while and he's a fan. And like Luis brought it up in this meeting that he wants you to skate for Almost. And I was like, so confused. You know what I mean? Like it threw me like through a loop. I was just like,
could imagine.
What the fuck? I just didn't know what to think of it because I was like, I've never even met this dude. So I was like, I want to talk to Eunice. And he was like, I'll give you Luis's contact and he can get you sorted. And like, just let me know. He's like, I'm not pushing you away. He's like, pretty much where we're at right now. There's dudes that, you know, Deeds was like kind of just getting on. And like, he was like, there's things that are in motion that he's like, this might work out better. They had their
calendar year kind of plan.
He was like, this might work out. This might be a good move for you. Like, he's like, really? It might be, you know, you might end up, you know, moving along quicker. So I was like, damn, like, I just wanted to think about it. And I ended up reaching out to Luis and I just, like, I think I maybe texted him and I was like, yo, like, I heard Eunice, like, Louie gave me your number and I wanted to talk to Eunice pretty much. Mm-hmm. And he was like, all right, yeah, like, I'll get you in contact with them. And Eunice ended up hitting me up and he was like, yeah, dude, like, we didn't know what your situation was with Enjoi. We kind of never really knew what your situation was. So it was kind of like, we didn't know what to think, but he was like, yeah, I would love to have you like part of this because we're kind of building something because Day One had just left. And he was like, people don't know this, but Max is going to be on. And this is what changed my whole, it like flicked a switch in my mind because Max skated for Cliche. And so Max just turned pro for Cliche when it went out. And then when he told me Max was going to skate for them, I was like a huge fan of Max. Like, I still am. But at the time I was like, oh, so y'all are getting that dude from Cliche over here. And like Yuri, so it was pretty much Yuri, Eunice, and Max and the AMs and stuff. So I was like, damn. Like,
you'd almost feel like you're being a part of something kind of refreshed and revitalized.
No, for sure. And it definitely felt more like relatable to me.
And like, hey, we can all do this together.
Yeah. And yeah, it felt like I was, I don't know, almost as always to me growing up was like a superstar team. Like Day One and Haslam and all these guys, they were like a bit larger than life pros. And I never, James telling me all those years ago, yeah, you're not getting on or
sorry.
No, you're all good.
Sorry, that
don't clap for him not getting on.
No, fuck. I'm sorry, bro. That shit was bugging me for a while.
No, I seen it. I seen it flying.
Did you get him?
Fuck. I think so.
Yeah, I think got him. He was quick. But no, like the brand had always been like a superstar lineup to me. Yeah. So when James told me like, yo, like we're kind of going, like we're putting these dudes on, I was like, I would have been shocked if I was like in the consideration of getting on Almost at that time because it was like a superstar lineup and I didn't see myself like working myself into that, you know? So,
and this was like 2019-ish?
This was the very beginning.
Because your Welcome Part came out 2019, right?
Yeah, this conversation was happening like January or February of 2019.
Brand new year. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I talked to Eunice and I was like, and another thing, Eunice was one of those dudes. He was like Walker, where I was like, this dude, he was like one of my favorite skaters, like one of my absolute favorites. Him and Walker were like taking Manny's to that realm you didn't really see it taken to, you know? And I loved it. And like that shit molded me into who I am. So to hear that was like, that dude fucks with me and like I don't even know him, but I was like, dude, what?
It's funny to hear shit like that too.
Yeah.
Because like in skateboarding, we all know who everybody is and vice versa. It's a small industry.
Yeah.
And you don't even think about that shit sometimes. Like Eunice Amrani has got his eye on you for Almost. It's like uncomprehendable. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like I'm just doing my...
But that's what skaters do. They pay attention and, you know, when you end up meeting these individuals, I've never met you, but I feel like I know you now, especially through social media and all these other outlets you've seen people. So
no, for sure. And so we talked about it, and when he told me Max was on, that was kind of like when in my brain it all just kind of switched because I was like, that's a step in the direction that I could see myself working into, because it's more like skater, like it's more like it's like what Cliche was. It was like just like the skaters that you fuck with what they do. It wasn't like on an all-star level. It was just like, these dudes are sick, and if you know, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, and I talked to Luis, and I remember being at my house alone, having this phone call with him, and he was like, his words, like, pretty much exactly were just like, no bullshit, like, no flow bullshit, like, we want you on the team for real, and, like, we're going to work on it right now. And I was just, no one's ever said that to me. Like, no one's ever, I've gotten so many, like, yeah, we can give you boards, and, like, you know, you're cool, you're doing cool shit, we can give you some boards, but, like, to be like, yo, like, no, we're not playing that shit, like, here we go.
You're part of their plan now of like what they're doing. That's
for the rebuilding.
Big deal. Yeah.
How old were you?
24.
That's dope.
Yeah, super gratifying, bro.
And I was like, I was at home alone, and I hung up, and I remember just like feeling like, I was like, this is what happened to Jamie. This is what happened to like all these dudes, and I'm getting to live it now. Because I didn't think it was gonna like go down in a way that like that. I didn't think it was gonna end up like, you're gonna get to skate for a brand that's like almost, you know.
Do you like lose faith a little bit? I'm sure it could play on your mind. You know, like the older you get, the kind of runarounds. I'm sure the Enjoi thing really was like, okay, I'm with Louie Barletta. I've stayed at his house. Hopefully he'll do my interview. Like, maybe that's the glimmer of hope.
Yeah. No, dude, there was like, I feel like just before I kind of started like that whole thing, like Cairo, that whole interaction happened, I do remember at a point having like nightmares, like almost like these strange like dystopia style nightmares where I like, it was so close to reality, and it was like me just feeling like I fucked up ever trying. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like I felt like, and it would kind of spiral me into like, I would wake up almost like sweating, like, and I'd never ever been like a negative thinker about skating or any of that. Like never would I let those thoughts like really exist in my mind. So for me to like pretty much have nightmares about them, that was when I was like, all right, this is coming from somewhere deeper than like these are just like gurgling inside and they're coming to the surface. Like your brain's just like, yo, like get it together. Like, is this happening or not happening?
I mean, let's be real, man. Like, we're all human beings. We have emotions, we have feelings. And like, again, it's like you came to terms with all your friends turning pro and doing their thing and getting on like major companies and stuff. And here you are still being slept on, getting kind of, you know, companies beating around the bush. I mean, it's got to have some type of effect on you. I mean, obviously you're having nightmares about some shit.
That only happened like, I want to say there was like 3 times that it happened where I was like, I knew I had to like face something.
Yeah.
Like I felt like, all right, I got to convince, I can't just say it to myself. I got to really believe that it's all good. But this doesn't happen. You know, there's a difference between saying like, it's all good, and then like really face to face in the mirror, like, no, you got to swallow this.
Believing
like,
that's going to be all good.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, you know, getting, you know, the company sleeping on you and all that stuff. It's like coming to terms, like you just said, it's like, dude, you got to like, I don't know, man. It's tough, dude. Like the older you get, the more companies, you know, it's just like, and all your friends are doing it. By this point in time, you know that you're at the caliber of skateboarding that you could be on a company. You know what I mean? It's no surprise to anybody.
Yeah, I knew it was more than that. I was like mature enough to know like,
are you thinking it's like is it my attitude? Is it something about me? Is it,
dude? To be honest,
because I feel like
everything.
I feel like shit would be playing on my mind like crazy, bro.
For sure.
I would I would see things like, I don't know. I feel like I would see people sometimes like jump to conclusions about me, or people. I would hear a lot of like, oh, I heard you were like this, or like I've heard like strange things, and I'm just like, I've never even met that person. Like, you know, and like, I mean, that still happens to this day. But like when you're coming up, it's like it's so much more like bruising, or like it leaves such a mark. You know, you're like, dude, like,
but also people are like jealous of the other person's come up too. You know,
I kind of started to see it
dude,
like that.
This person's coming up, like, oh, I'm gonna just, I mean, fuck that dude, or whatever the case may be.
They like fish for a reason, is what it felt like. Is they were like, all right, maybe some dudes start to see it like, oh, he's like coming from my job, or I don't fucking know. I don't know what the actual
people could feel like that for sure.
So they're kind of like looking at you up and down, like looking for you to kind of like trip and fall, to be like, yeah, all right, over it, you know.
Some hate shit.
Yeah, and dude,
or you're getting some shit that they want, you know.
I wasn't getting shit nobody wanted.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, even you getting, and you staying at Louie Barletta's house. I mean, like, little things like that.
Yeah.
People get jealous,
No,
man.
dude,
Start to talk, you know?
And like I said earlier, like, dude, I'm now looking at it all, like, I have a different everybody has their, like, story, and everybody, like, navigates through life differently, and I'm super grateful to have had it like this hard.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you fought the good fight.
Yeah.
And now you're here, and you're fucking doing it,
I feel
bro.
like it's helpful to other kids. It's helpful to, like, I've had a lot of people kind of, like, resonate with just not even everybody knows how it went down. Like, you know, people don't know my situation, but, like, I've had people resonate with me, or, like, I can see a kid who's really good, and, like, I can actually help them now, you know, which is, like, something I always wished could happen for me. So, like,
you could help other people because of these things, for sure.
And I pay extra close attention because, like, I'm like, I don't want that kid to end up like what happened for me, or like, you know. So,
and listen, I think I'm going to use Robbie McKinley as an example, right? I was really good friends with him, roommates together and everything. I can't tell his story. That's his story to tell. However, I feel like he exited prematurely. You know, it's like Girl wasn't going to turn him pro, like DC. And at that time too, it was the shoe companies and the board companies had to kind of be aligned with like, oh, this guy's turning pro. Shoe companies had to match, like, you know, the pro pay. And it was a whole thing. And I think he just kind of like didn't feel like it was ever going to happen. So he kind of like left.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm always like, and again, it's his story to tell, not mine. But I just, man, he could have fought.
He was right
harder.
there.
He could have fought.
He was right there
harder, and I love that dude.
He was already like in position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just think like you're on and like things are just gonna happen just because you've skated the way you've skated. You gotta sometimes you gotta come out of yourself, bro. If you really want this shit, you gotta go do some shit.
But sometimes when you're told like, hey, this isn't gonna happen, or like
if they tell you that, then you.
But if you still gotta fight the fight, bro.
I agree.
Yeah.
That just poked the hole in and deflated his shit.
But you gotta put there's tape.
He's got to patch that shit up. He's got to go patch it up. You know what I'm saying? If you really want it, but apparently he didn't want it. You know.
That's what I'm saying though. Like the whole.
But I think he was.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like I love that dude dearly,
For sure.
and I just feel like he like left too soon.
Yeah.
You know, he just like got deflated, left. He could have fought He could have fought way harder and fucking done it.
But I feel like that's just what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say
100%, man. It's his story to tell too.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming what I saw.
Dude,
but
trust me, I know people who you're like, dude, you can do this. Like, you know, like kids in Florida or people that I grew up around, and you're like, it's what they want to do. It's their life.
Yeah,
you know? And like, it was my life. I couldn't blame anybody for what happened to me. I was never ever. This is the other thing I had to like really understand was like, I'm never going to be salty at skating because I didn't have something, you know, like I refuse to let that.
And it's funny because that could happen.
Because it wasn't about that.
Yeah, no. And I've seen it happen, and I was living a situation where I could have seen people feeling like tons of different ways about, and it's like, you know, if somebody, I don't know, it's different if it's like a personal encounter or a personal interaction where somebody like really said some sideways shit to you or something like that, where you can be like, identify it and be like, that was fucking whack and like, fuck this. But no one's ever like treated me poorly. No one's ever like, things just are the way they are. And it's like, it's all good, dude.
And
like,
that's the thing, man, is like, you definitely came up in a time where everybody's good.
Yeah.
Let's just face it. Like you go to a skate park and everybody's ripping.
Yeah.
There's 50 kids there that stand out, you know, and it's like, it's even harder nowadays to like get on. Yeah. So as much as you were slept on and everything, I feel like a lot of like you just hung in there and you just did it, you know.
Dude, I learned
like,
a lot. I learned a lot, dude. I slept on a lot of floors.
Yeah.
I learned the value of $1 more than I expected to, you know, like you're like, you really like hone in on like survival mode. And I did that for a long time, like a long time. Like I didn't make money skating till I was like 25 years old.
That crazy, bro.
And like, I didn't make $1.
How did you just get jobs the whole time?
I would, dude, me and Steak would literally like, Thrasher would pay for parts, Ride Channel would pay for parts, and he was kind enough to split stuff with me. And we were just grinding. We would grind out either whatever way I could make. I remember I started kind of winning some like best trick contest money. Like the border would throw some stuff.
Okay.
I would go to like a best trick contest, win some money. I would like went to a wheelie dope at the LA Courthouse stage. I got like second or third.
Oh, that was the 2016. I remember
that was a little bit later. Like, dude, I would like, okay, I guess I made money off skating, but like nothing consistent. Like I just had to fucking like, oh, and Jamie and them they let me stay at their house for free until I started making money.
Oh, Foy?
Yeah.
Wow.
I never even mentioned that. That's real shit. Like, those dudes like,
right there.
Yeah, bro.
Man.
Like they understood like, yo, we got it. We got a better situation than you do, and like you're trying to make it work, and like I completely forgot about that, and I don't know how I could have. Like that was like a huge, you know.
That's big, bro.
Massive.
Dude.
And like I slept behind the couch for
while
like
in
years.
Long Beach.
Yeah. Once I got back to Long Beach, it was like I did not have a bedroom of my own until I was 25 years old. Like from when I was like 14 or something.
I love that. I love the fact that it was a hard road for you, but you never fucking gave up and you kept going. I mean, like any other 25-year-old, maybe, I don't know, would just be like towels thrown in, time to go into the real world.
What
I'm done.
What sort of sat in my brain, even still going through this injury, you know, you like have a lot of like self-reflection, and I'm like, I don't want to stop until I feel like I genuinely have nothing left to offer, like skating. Like if there's still
I feel like you've just turned it on.
Yeah, I feel like there's still loads for me to offer, like with what I do, you know, like there's still tons of aspects of skating that I haven't explored. There's places I haven't been, and like, I don't know. I feel like that was kind of what was driving me. I was like, I only want to stop when I feel like I got no more gas. Like that's what I feel like
your tank is full right now. And you're fucking driving down that fucking road full speed ahead,
Straight
dude.
up.
Like you're killing it, man.
Thanks.
Like ever since, what was the last video part you had?
The Red Tiger part.
The Red Tiger.
That part was like, that's when I was like, oh, there it is. That's, I could tell you worked hard and
put it all together.
You put that on. Yeah, that whole thing worked together.
It was everything I had, literally.
Switch
I was in a
was
lot
flipped.
of pain, and like I feel like that was, I don't know. I went into that year. I had just turned pro, and I was like, I just felt like I wanted to skate so hard that like maybe it would present more opportunities for me, you know? Because I like didn't have a shoe sponsor. I was making a little bit of money, but it wasn't like survivable money. Right. It was like, I was like, you know what? I'm a pro now, so more opportunities can happen. Yeah. And I was like, I'm just gonna literally like floor it like as hard as I can. And there was a ton of those tricks that like I would dream about doing. And then there was so many that I did. And I remember like my friend Devin Lopez filmed all that. And I would talk to him about like, dude, I've like stayed up late nights thinking about this trick and we just did it. And like there was like 7 or 8 of those that were in one project, you know? So I was like, I don't know. I don't want to see that as like my peak or like the best I'll ever do. But like in reality, I surprised the shit out of myself. Like I did not think I was going to be able to accomplish all those things. Like the nose grind half kick flip on the Machba ledge was like something I thought about doing for like 10 years.
Isn't that crazy?
And then it happened in like 6 goes the day I did it. And I was rolling down
the street. You wanted to do it at that
like,
spot?
Yeah, I'd always wanted to do it on that ledge. Yeah. Always. It was just like a dream. I was
it's funny because like sometimes you would think of a trick and you want to do it at a spot, but another spot presents itself. So you're like, oh, I'll just do it here.
I've done it on other spots, but like I knew I was like, I want to do it there because like it hadn't been done and it was like something I knew I could do.
Yeah.
And it all just like pieced together one time and I was like, it was like the first day of a Barcelona trip. I was like, we could just go home.
You're hyped.
Oh, dude,
first day in Barcelona, you're hyped, bro.
Yeah,
6 tries, bro.
It was such a small amount of tries. I was like, I remember landing it and being so like, I felt like I could have floated away.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, and there's only some of those tricks that like you really hold on to. And like, I'm glad, dude, people bring up that part to me a lot and it's like, I'm so happy because it means a lot to me. And like the fact that it can resonate with people like, oh, he tried really hard or like, dude, some of those tricks I like wrote down. I like wrote down years ago. I was like, I want to do that there, but it's fucking terrifying and I might die.
I feel writing down is definitely therapeutic in the process when you're trying these tricks, like, because you want to check that bitch off. You know what I mean? So
and I feel like you guys have talked about it before, but it's like turning pro is like, you're still the same. It's just like you've emerged out of this cocoon to everybody else, right?
Sure. Yeah,
like,
true.
And I felt like I was trying to like really be like, I'm a pro skater now. I'm gonna fucking do pro skater shit, or like, which is what I'm dreaming about doing. You know, like,
some people turn it off a little bit when they turn pro.
I made it.
I can relax a little bit. My pro audio ad was I was in a hammock.
I felt like I just got the job, dog. I felt like I was interning all those years, and I was like, finally, I got the job. Let's do it. Let's try and do this job now. And like,
nah, you're doing it, bro.
Yeah,
I gotta ask you this, bro, because it's a sore subject. Did you have a surprise party when you were pro?
Oh,
I did.
You did. Dub, I'm so sorry.
Yes,
bro. I'm so sorry.
Don't do that to him. Man.
I gotta ask, man. It's the newest trend in skateboarding. You know,
it has been for a while.
I know. So they surprised you.
Kind of. I feel like we talked about this a little bit on the experience.
Okay.
But like
that was years ago.
Yeah. We did I found out like the day before because I got my hands on a Thrasher like too soon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Atiba came on the session. I was with like Suchu and a bunch of homies, and I think he was gonna shoot Mark do a trick, and he's like, I got the new mag, and I knew I had an interview in there and stuff, so whatever. He gave us all copies, and then like it did happen kind of crazy, like movie somatic style, because I was fumbling. I had like a bunch of stuff in my hand, and I dropped the magazine, and it like the back page stayed, and it like flopped open and closed, like flapped a bunch of pages, and I saw that my car was like on the back page, like because it almost always has the back page ads, so I just like saw a glimpse of the car, and I was like, wait, I have the ad too, like I didn't even know that. They always tell me or like show me a mock-up, so I was like, what? And then I just like opened it and saw it was like Dilo's Pro or whatever, and I was like, whoa, what? And I remember just like shaking. Like the only I remember holding it, just being like, there's no way this is real, because there's no board.
Yeah. What was their intention though? Before the mag came out, they were going to do what? So I don't know what I think they were working with you guys, but I think they wanted to do a surprise with you guys, or that's what Luis kind of told me. But what's crazy is they still kind of got me, which I was like, I even knew when y'all kind of got me. So they pretty much told me and everybody there, they were like, don't post anything. The boards aren't here yet. Like Luis, he played it pretty good, because he had me thinking it would be like a couple weeks till they would like do something about the boards, but it was the next fucking day. So I was like, this motherfucker. So he was like, no, the boards aren't here. We can't like just let everybody keep it mellow for like a couple days or a week or whatever he said. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure. And all day long I was just getting texts of like the ad, because like, you know, anybody out with Rhino had the mag. Anybody out with Burnett had the mag. Like everybody, all the staff dudes had it, so they were giving it out, and people were like, dude, what? Like all my friends were like, what? And the next day, my friend Steak, actually, he lives in Long Beach, like around the corner from me now. He moved back up here. And he was like, we were editing the video part that was to come out. And he was like, yo, I need you to come over and we're going to like go over the edit. And I was like, I'm going to go skate, I think. Like, does it have to be today? He's like, yeah, I'm super busy the rest of the week. So like, and he played it pretty good. And there was a point he kind of kept hitting me up to make sure I was coming, and I was like, yo, like, are y'all trying to do something? Because like, why do you keep bugging me about this? He's like, no, I just like don't want to like sit around all night and like you just not show up if you're gonna go skate, so like let me know if you're gonna come after you skate. And I was like, all right, fine. So there was like a split moment in my mind, but I was like, I don't know, I just doubted Luis. I was like, there's no way. Like there's no way he would get me like this. Like I don't know, I didn't think he was gonna. And then what's crazy is I was with my roommate at the time, and he like was playing it so cool to the point where like we went and got food on the way home, and like there was food there, and I was like, dude, why didn't you tell me? Like it was funny how like people around me knew and were playing it so like dumb just to make it. I would ran into people at the skate park that knew they were going to Steak's house for the surprise, and they didn't say anything, and I was just like, this is what. Like when I got there, I was more just like, oh, you motherfucker. What?
Yeah.
How did you, what? So anyway, I just,
so they surprised you at
Steak's house,
with the boards. Right.
Yeah.
So you already knew, saw the mag, went there.
Yeah. When I went over there, there was like 100 people crammed in a room.
If my recollection serves me right, because you came on the show, the experience show, when did you turn pro? 2 years ago?
2020. It was the very end.
So 2 years ago. I think you were going to come on the show and maybe talk about your video part or something that just dropped, and like we were going to have the boards here and like be like, oh yeah, by like,
oh my
we're
God.
going to do something. And then I think Luis like called us like, hey dude, like he saw the shit and like so he's done. Like
he already knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shout out
I felt
Luis.
terrible. I did
Shout
not know
out.
how to tell him. I didn't know how to tell him. I was like, dude, this is the strangest thing to have to tell you, but like I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like that shit's so weird, but like knowing it's supposed to be a surprise, it's just like, damn.
That's amazing. Hey, it's a great feeling, man, because like at the end, like we just talked about for the last couple hours, it's like your whole path and trajectory and sleeping behind a couch at 25 years old and like still like, God, that means a lot, you know?
Oh,
to
yeah.
finally get a board and be on this company with all these dudes
Yeah.
that you know, that
You guys' team is stacked.
It's crazy,
right
man.
now. You guys did a hell of a job rebuilding that company.
I feel like we just kept it tight. It's like we're all friends, you know? Like
I love that.
it's Eunice's close squad. Yuri and Max are like really good friends of his, and then TT's a really good friend of Max, and it's all kind of like stemming off of like everybody's close circle. And you know, like I want to try and incorporate people that are like my good friends that are on this side. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like because a lot of it's European and stuff, which it's working out.
It's a
However,
cliche part two for you.
Yeah. No, for real. I was like this, and I've said this to people. I'm like, this is the closest thing I was gonna get. Like in all reality, and it feels so like right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's the most important thing about getting sponsored and getting. I mean, we talked about it before. It's like, where did you fit in?
Yeah.
Where did you want to be? You know, and it's like that type of stuff is like so important to like realize. I was even shocked when you were saying like I was sending Jeremy Dacklin board footage without even riding Cliche boards. I was like, oh, dude, like you should have been riding Cliche boards for sure and sending him footage.
Yeah, but I just didn't. I didn't know, dude. I didn't have money. I wasn't gonna go buy them. I was like, I think I was trading product for just shop boards. There was like a Slappy's Garage was near me.
Okay. But it just goes to show that company even more that you're like, dude, I'm out here
down.
skating the shit
Yeah.
and buying the
course.
shit, trading the shit in because
Yeah.
I love your shit.
Yeah.
You know.
I
But
thi-
listen,
yeah,
it all
man.
worked out though,
Dude.
bro.
Definitely did.
You
Oh,
want to hear
okay.
something crazy? And this happened like, so when I was living in San Diego, I was like bouncing back and forth. I would go to Florida because I still had homies living there. My dad like bought this house right across from my homie, like where Zion lived and where my friend that I grew up filming with lived. So we were like really close. They were on the same street just by coincidence. So I was like, I would go home, be across street from him, and we would go skate all the time. And I was getting float almost boards at that time. And I would get these like 2 board boxes. And there was days where like, whatever, my board break the day before and be like, I think a box is coming today. And I would be waiting because I wouldn't have a board to skate. And then like the box would show up and it would just be leaning against the wall, like the 2 board box. And bro, I went, I fucking turned pro and I went home like kind of right after I turned pro. And I had like Luis mail me like 3 boards, like one of each of my graphic for my dad. And it came to that address. And I just remember one day, like, whatever, it was like a Monday morning, I opened the door and the same motherfucking box with like the same amount. It was like, I felt crazy. I was looking at it leaning against the wall the same way. And I was like, dude, this is the weirdest fucking thing. My boards are in that box. Like my pro models are in that box. When I would like sit here and wait all day, like, damn, where the fuck's UPS? Like 2 boards would show up,
Just
break
brought
that
you
shit
back.
open, like set them up. And I was like, it just felt too like surreal.
Yeah.
Like seeing it lean against the wall the same way.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fucking
That was
weird.
It's like a bit of deja vu almost,
Dude.
but like completely different.
Oh yeah, it felt like, I don't know what it felt like. It kind of just hit, it was like a moment where I almost wanted to take a photo or something. I told my dad, I was like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even understand what I'm about to tell you, but like the way these motherfuckers put this box against the wall, same brand, same like amount of boards in the box, and they're my boards and they're for you guys. And it's like,
It's like six years later or whatever
dude,
it was.
Yeah, long time later. But I was like,
Damn.
that shit tripped me out. I was like, what the fuck?
The tenacity and everything. I love it, man. Congrats to
Yeah,
where you're
buddy.
at right
Dude.
now, because we've been here rooting for you
Straight
for
up.
a long fucking time.
It's
man.
funny, you've had like a long story already, and you're not even like, this isn't the end of your career in any way.
Yeah.
You're like right in the beginning of just being pro finally.
Yeah, it's pretty, it feels crazy. Like I was saying, I watch the show all the time since I've been hurt. It's every Monday on
Yeah.
my exercise bike in my living room.
Hell yeah.
And some people's stories are like, yeah, it just happened. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it just me that this whole crazy roller coaster like of
no? But that's what I love about this show is because like we all end up here, right? But everybody has a completely different path.
Yeah,
definitely.
Some people it's easy, you know. Some people they just kind of everything falls right into place, and they find a home and all this stuff. And other people, it's such a journey, you know. Dude. And like Canadians trying to come up, like
oh my god,
it's even more of a journey.
Yeah.
But even like Wade DeSarmo, like it wasn't that big of a journey. Like sometimes shit just happens, you know,
for sure.
So
like,
I love to hear about how it all transpires, you know, because it's interesting, man. We're all here.
Yeah.
But fuck, my journey was nothing like your journey, like Jeron's journey, Kelly's journey.
Bro, for sure. And like, I feel like it takes like sitting here, kind of like looking back. There's somebody told me this a long time ago, and I feel like it's like a perfect example of skateboarding, but it's like, I feel like it's like every day you're chipping away at this thing and you don't know what is going to amount from it, but it's like you're laying a brick every day and your intention is to like build this house. And every day you're laying a brick and you don't acknowledge the progress. You're just laying bricks. And it takes something like this happening or like sitting in this chair, and then you like have to turn around and be like, oh, bro, I
look at the house.
house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's good. Who told you that?
I don't remember.
God damn. That's a good, I like that analogy though.
Like that too,
that's really
sure.
good.
Yeah, dude. It's
because
like,
you kind of don't take a step back and look at the progress you've made.
Yeah, you're just so in it, and you're so like, it'll work out.
Yeah.
Or like, I'll just like, you know, even if you got those like dark thoughts, you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna skate it off. That's like what we've done with everything.
Well, that's what skating's about is the release and you know,
it's like a distraction.
Get away from the real world.
For
Not
sure.
think about none of that shit.
We all go. I mean, we're humans, man. We all go through crazy shit. You know, nobody's perfect,
dude. No doubt.
I need to talk to you about this because we touched on Bryan Herman earlier. We touched on Hours.
Yep.
Pull one of those shoes out. I gotta, dude. This shit.
Boom.
Ours is.
You want to hold it?
Yeah, go,
hold it.
Yeah,
ones are for you, dog.
Ours is yours.
Ours is yours. Bryan Herman, legend.
Yeah, dog.
How did the whole Hours thing come about? Because you said like you were on Lakai Flow, then you went to Adidas, and then how did the Hours thing come about? Because like to me, I look at like a shoe company like this, and I look at like Bryan Herman, and I'm like, damn. Like, this shit's dope.
Yeah.
Like, because I know how much they put into it, you know? And, like, they've come a long way.
Yeah. I mean, it's only been, the shoes have been out since, like, the beginning of this year. Yeah. So, I feel like it's been a work in progress
But
for a long
that's what I'm saying,
time.
though. We've been hearing about, you know, the shoes for a long time
And
now.
shoes are no joke. You already know. Coming into the shoe game is definitely
for sure, dog.
taking a big risk, but also with risk comes reward, especially if that shit works out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No doubt, dude.
And it looks like the product, it looks great. You know what I mean? I can't say, especially for being your first year, you know, it looks
dude,
I'm very promising. So
totally.
No, dude, I'm hyped.
Look forward to seeing what happens.
So how did it all come about?
I want to say, I think I was wearing, I think I was just getting some Lakais, or I bought some from a shop or something. I went to a Tampa Pro.
Okay.
And I kind of like, I feel like there was some speculation that I was going to skate for Lakai, but like it wasn't at that point, you know? Like I was kind of just wearing what I wanted to wear.
This was before
No,
Adidas?
this is after.
Yep.
So you went from Lakai to Adidas back to Lakai.
Yeah, I just like, I pretty much, my thought process was like, I've been wearing these shoes so long, like wearing Adidas so long, and like when it came to the end, and we knew it wasn't working out for, you know, like mutually, we were just like, I'm gonna do something else.
So there was conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came to a point where I was like, I just gotta try other shit, you know.
Okay.
And those dudes held me down for a long time. They got me a flight to Australia for Jamie's trip. Like they held me down, you know.
Sick.
But like it is what it is, and I just bought some Lakais from a skate shop because I was like, I want to wear skate shoes. Like, I just want to wear a skateboard company shoe, you know? Like, it was, for me, it was like, I don't know, like, it's pretty cool to imagine, like, the money's going to, like, Mike Carroll or something, you know? Like, if I wear these shoes, right. I was like, it's just been so long wearing this other thing. I was like, I wanted to just wear skate shoes. So I think there was some speculation that like there was more going on there than it was, but I was just skating, dude, and like you guys know.
Yeah, and I think we heard somewhere that you bought Lakais or you were buying Lakais and stuff, and like I love that type of shit, you know, because like at your point in your career too. I mean, you're at You said Tampa Pro?
I went to Tampa Pro that year.
So it's like, you could call up any company and probably get shoes, but like you could have called back up Lakai and probably gotten shoes, but like you went out and bought them, it shows something.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to try them. They were a pair that I'd seen before, and I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I wore them when I was younger, and they were like, still, they're a sick fucking brand. It's like, it's a legendary brand.
Totally.
And I don't know. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know if like, oh, I'm going to buy these shoes and then I'm going to skate for this brand. I wasn't thinking like that. I was like, dude, I just want to like wear something different, kind of like let it be known I'm trying new shit. So I went to Tampa Pro, and I actually saw Dennis there. And I mean, there was still, I don't think this hadn't launched yet, but I like knew it was happening. I'd heard it around Baker Boys. Like Jamie told me about it. I'd heard a lot about it. And I think when I left, I feel like it was when I left Tampa that Dennis wrote me a message and was like, yo, like, want to talk about like a shoe thing if you aren't like doing this with Lakai or whatever. And I was like, I don't really know what's going on. And we hopped on the phone and we talked for a while. I think, I want to say he sent me some shoes, and then I don't know. I kind of didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt like I was kind of like, I don't want to say I was like, oh, I was comfortable where I was, but it was like, I don't know. I found a pair of shoes that Lakai made that I liked, and I was just like, I'm pretty comfortable with these. Like, maybe skate these, whatever. Like, I don't know, just changing up again was just going to like kind of make it like a bit more of a difficult transition for me, because I traditionally skate like a cup sole shoe. Like that's what I'd been used to. So I was like, going back to a Volk shoe, and they only make Volk shoes right now. So I was like, we'll see, whatever. So I brought them on a trip with me. I went to SF on an almost trip, and I brought them just because I was like, maybe I'll skate them. Like, I'll probably, whatever. And Bryan actually reached out to me, like between when I went on the trip, like before, when I got the shoes and when I went on the trip, Bryan had reached out to me, and he was like, yo, dude, like we're building this, and like we really want you a part of it, and like having your input, and like we can make what you want, you know, like we can like, what do you want to skate? We can make it. Like we can, we can do stuff for you. Like we can offer something for you. Sick. Like maybe somebody else right now isn't, able to offer.
Totally. So
I was like, shit, well, I'll see. That's kind of why I was like, I'm gonna bring these on the trip and see. And it was this model, but not my colorway, but it was different. And I skated them. I filmed some tricks in them, and I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I was honestly shocked, because with a new shoe brand, like, I was kind of expecting them to maybe like not hold up through a whole trip or something.
And plus, you're switching from
cup
sole to Volk.
Yeah,
it's hard to do.
Yeah, for sure. But they skated good. They look good. I was like, man, I don't know. I kind of feel like I should take this opportunity, like with something new. Yeah. Something new, someone like Bryan. I just felt like, I mean, we still have like a ways to go with like building, but I feel like getting in with it now, the potential of what it can become, I was like, dude, this is fucking rad,
For
like,
sure. And he's a legend in the game, so like that's like an honor also.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, dude, it's been rad. Having this shoe, I honestly never thought I would have a shoe with my name anywhere on it.
That's awesome.
So even just to see these for the first time I ever saw them, and then like, I don't know,
dude, they're sick, man.
Yeah, they're super dope, bro.
What's that shoe called?
This is the C71. It's just a team model, but this is like the lace up. We have like 2 slip-ons. One has like one lace kind of on it. And this one's just like the full lace up. And then Bryan's pro model just launched.
I kind of like the, whenever I see a shoe like that's kind of like, I don't know the term for it, but like dipped, I always, brings back like the Ellington shoe for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's the shoe I always remember.
You know what this shoe reminds me of? And it's pretty random. Maybe you guys won't remember as much as me, but I remember some kids in my area having it. It was like this old Jason Dill DVS shoe. And it kind of looked like this. I feel like it had like the two-tone to it. It was like, it was I don't know, it had like a blazer or maybe it wasn't a DVS. It might have been an Etnies. It was Jason Dill's Etnies shoe.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
It was an
Etnies
DVS
shit was definitely
No, you're right.
out.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't DVS. It was his Etnies shoe. Because I remember full skating it, and it looked like it just had like a similar. That's what this, at least like the two-tone. That's what I think.
Yes, I can see that.
Because I think the Ellington was like a little bit before my time. But.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just whenever I see something like that, I just it just brings me back to an Ellington. But I like the fact that the shoe laces are black, but then they show up.
Yeah, with the tongue.
With the
a little bit
tongue.
different.
Yeah, I like that.
What's cool is like if you compare like the tiger patterns on both of them, they're like completely different.
Oh yeah,
you know, they're not.
And
like,
and tiger pattern for you is like way left field. Like you don't fuck with tigers. Do.
What's funny?
It's so left field.
Hey, you know it's completely. Which I feel like I kind of took as a sign where I was like, all right, maybe this is like what I went to Dennis's house to see some samples.
Yeah.
And he had these sitting there, just like as a sample that he mocked up, like completely just my name wasn't involved with it.
No way.
Yeah.
Sick.
It was like that it's not Dilo, it's Lorenzo.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Go to
you
new
gotta
route
keep with
now,
this with this brand over here. Huh?
Nah, dude, it's cool. It's like just different.
I love it, bro.
You know, like over there on the boards, it's Dilo, and then on the shoes, it's
there you go.
the full thing.
There's diversifying right there.
I love seeing this shit in person because, like, again, we've been hearing about the hours for a while now. You know, behind the scenes. You know, with this, that, and the other. But it's rad to see it kind of come to life and see what they got. You know, are there who's on the team?
Right now, Bryan, myself, Kevin Braun, I believe.
Ooh,
it's gonna be known when this is out, I believe.
That's awesome. That's a great
It's gonna
addition.
be known when this is out.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be known when this is out, regardless of if you guys
release or not.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, that's my dog.
Sick.
And like I don't know. Dennis and Bryan both have been like really respecting my view on like who I feel like we should, I don't know, like dudes that I'm like, I know this dude. He's been doing it for a long time and not really getting love. And I'm like, it's like no brainer. Like some of these dudes that I'm trying to like incorporate or help be like part of the team is like, you know, while we're small, we could grow a little bit, grow a base team. And
Totally.
I'm like,
Support the underdogs, bro.
Real dog. And like Braun's an epic skater. And he's like, I've been on a trip with him, a pyramid country trip. And we kind of like bonded over some things, like just not like an underdog story, but I was like, damn, dude, like I fucking feel you, you know, like us just like talking about the way things have gone for the both of us. And I'm like, you know what? Like that shit really stuck with me. And so being in a position now where Bryan's like, what do you think? We trust you. Like, he's like, I trust your opinion because you're out there doing it, you know? And,
I feel like Kevin Braun in the shoe world has been slept on for a while because he was getting Converse for the longest time.
Yeah, he was wearing Converse.
Yeah, and that's good. You guys are doing something good and like not just blowing up right away, like slowly build it.
I was just about to say that.
That's the best
because we could follow along with the journey.
Yeah.
You know, it's like cool. You start off with you know, U2, U3, and then we can follow along and see they put this dude on or this girl on it's rad to kind of follow along. Like something. Remember when DVS came out? It was like, bam, we're here. You know, it's like we got the whole team and everything. That's cool. Like I love that type of shit too. But like, there was no journey. Yeah. There was no story behind it. It was just like, boom, like we're here. You know.
And I think it's gonna get to the point where it'll kind of naturally bring itself together.
100%.
You know?
Yeah,
100%.
I feel like what's important now is like, from my perspective, I'm like, who do I want to surround myself with, and who is somebody that like I feel for, you know, like somebody who's, because you know we want to like look out for like younger kids coming up and stuff. Like everybody's doing that, and like I just feel like to get that like street cred or like to really show you're not playing games, it's like get the dudes who've been like kind of just they don't have the opportunity, but they're doing the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's a couple dudes that I feel for that deserve something. They've been doing good shit, and it's like if I can like throw their name in the hat, and if it like ends up working out, that just makes it feel better for me.
Team underdog.
There we go.
Let's
I appreciate that, dude. And
I think,
you know, we'll see what happens. You know, throw my name in the hat. We'll see.
I was just gonna say, Chris is looking
see
for
what
a shoe
happens.
sponsor,
Yeah,
dude. He's
you
an
know,
underdog.
I love
this is your
shit,
first box.
bro.
Here you go.
Hey, thank you. There it is. Got my first. Yeah, it's almost like turning pro again.
There it
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
There it
Like,
is,
A little
dude.
surprise is amazing.
Love it.
I love it. I love seeing these in person. And dude, shout out to Bryan Herman.
Yeah.
Love Bryan Herman.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I'm stoked for you guys, man. I can see this company also, like you're saying, like a fight for the underdogs as well. But I can see this company getting some big dogs on here too.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
we'll see what happens. I'm just excited to be part of something from like.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, you guys have a big dog on there, and that's Bryan Herman.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly. It's like
that's a big dog right there.
No doubt.
I feel like some people don't know about Bryan is he's like big on like shoe design, and like he cares a lot about like he's got a passion for footwear. And I feel like he's such like a mysterious sort of guy, but like talking to him about it, he's like he cares a lot about like skate shoes and like the designer shoes, and like I don't know, he's talking to me about how much he loved like going down to Soltec and designing shoes when he was with America and everything, and he's like, I'm just so happy to like have that again.
That's sick,
and like
bro.
have that avenue of like passion to kind of dive into.
Did you guys retro this a shoe of his? Which one was
the code,
okay.
the G code.
That's awesome.
The original.
And it's the same shoe, but it's on a different sole.
This one there's a bit of changes to it. I wish I would have brought it, but
you're good.
It's a little bit different. It's like a slimmer silhouette, and it's on a Volk sole, not a cup. And it's just like I feel like it's more like sleek, I guess, than the original. But I don't think I skated any pairs of the original. But Braun was telling me he like grew up skating them all, so he was like, "What? I get to skate the shoe again?" Like, he was so fired up. He's like, "What? Like crazy, So,
dude, I'm stoked for you guys, man.
Yeah,
this is really dope. This is really dope. I'm super psyched. What is the obsession with tigers, though?
Dude, it's kind of gotten out of control. It's sort of
stem
like,
from a little
crazy.
kid.
It's been crazy. Yeah. So pretty much, when I was, when I was like really small, my mom's told me like my whole life that I've told her I was a tiger before I was a person or whatever. Okay. I guess like literally I would have every single birthday party until I was like maybe 11 at like the zoo at the tiger exhibit. My mom would just like bring cupcakes or something, and like I was insane, dude. I have photos on my phone. I could show you guys after the show. It's like my bed when I was like 3 with like 25 tiger stuffed animals, like all different ones, like Tigger, like Jungle Book tiger, amazing. Like all of them. I was obsessed, dude. And like it's obviously like whatever, you're a teenager, you just like grow out of like your little kid obsessions, but part of me always felt like, I don't know, like drawn to like my favorite colors are like warm colors, you know.
Gotcha.
Oranges, reds, yellow, and that's always been the way it was. And I felt like I sort of like not reconnected, but almost was like, damn, that's my shit. And it always kind of has been.
Yeah.
And it was like dormant in me for so long. And like it has, I don't know, it's pretty, I didn't expect for it to turn into this, to be completely honest. I did not expect for it to turn into this. But like,
yeah, but didn't you even draw the stuff for your first interview in Thrasher?
I did. Yeah, I drew like a little tiger like imagery that was in my Thrasher
kind of
interview.
like, it's kind of dope though, because you kind of created this like thing for you before you even had like a thing.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I have no idea. My mom's told me so many stories like before I can even remember. She's just like,
you've always had the eye of the tiger.
Yeah, right? She's like, you're obsessed. Like,
your goal, you know what I'm saying, was to really, you know, obviously do something with skateboarding, and you didn't let nothing to like, you know, derail you. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, dude.
And now you come full circle with this shit, bro. This is meant to be, bro.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like walking into Dennis's house, seeing these samples, I was like, "Are you shitting me?" Like that's like, yeah, that's got to be me, you know. Bro. So like, it's the fact that it all came together like this, and it's also Year of the Tiger, like 2022 is like Chinese Zodiac Year of the Tiger.
Ooh, because
it's got
timing,
like,
bro. Timing is everything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Year of the Tiger, break my leg.
Oh, shit.
But that's the comeback right there, dog. That's the reset.
Yeah. Nah, it's all good. I'm not even like, that shit happens, you know, whatever year it is, that shit's going to happen.
Of course. You're going to enjoy, I know it might sound weird, but you're going to enjoy this process of building your strength back up, because it's like you're relearning how to skate again, but you're feeling the momentum getting real quick, and you're going to.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's what it's felt like, and I've been explaining it to my friends because I've only skated like a little bit since the injury, like, and I was like, it kind of feels like, because it's a lot of like fear, and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but then the minute you like get that confidence, you kind of just figure it out. It's like your brain, it's like opening up a book that you've read before, and the minute you like read the first couple lines, you're like, wait, I know this whole. I read this book before. Like, I know the whole story. You know, it's like your brain's just like, wait, what the fuck? Why are we pussyfooting this? We know how to do this. Like,
for sure.
Definitely.
Because I went to these curbs by my house, and was like scared to kickflip nose manual this curb because I was like, I don't even think I could kickflip up a curb. This is crazy. And then like the first one I tried, I just did it. And I was
wow.
I was like,
yeah, you're gonna be fine, bro.
Yeah. Get back up on the horse.
Straight up.
but it didn't feel like I was prepared to do that, you know? And then your brain's like, bro, what? Like, have we done this? We read this book before?
Like, so you've read the book before, but what chapter are we on now? Are we gonna work on a new video part, or like what's your plan for when you like come back fully?
Dude, I just want to get back to like skating comfortably, really. That's like
that's your main goal.
Yeah,
You're not even thinking about anything else, like video parts or something?
I want to, we're talking about doing a promo video.
Okay.
When, you know. Like,
by the way, are those shoes out right now, or are they coming out soon?
These will be out.
They're on the website.
Next month.
So it'll be November.
Yes,
okay.
November.
Which is pretty close. We're already halfway through October right now.
Yep.
Dope.
So these will be out soon.
Okay. So you want to film maybe a little promo or something for that?
No, I think just more like a brand, like as a whole. Like like let the team fill organically, you know? Like find people that, you know, what we got distribution in Europe. It'd be sick to get Euro dudes, or like just kind of make sort of like a brand statement, like show the identity of the brand.
No, I understand that for sure, but like, you know, but I feel like something like that would take would take time, right? But like
it's gonna take time.
But what about like near future? We're a few months from like skating, right? Yeah. So when you get back on the board, you're gonna feel comfortable so quick, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna once you're back on, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a few weeks here and there, but
I feel
like you don't have any plans. Like I feel like, how long did it take for you to do your last video part? Which video part was it? The shake jump?
I had that was like sort of a long time, just like sprinkled in with when I could skate with Beagle and like Caitlin and stuff. So that was like
major video part then.
The Red Tiger one.
Red Tiger. How long did that take to film?
That year.
Whole year?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe when you get back on the board, it'll be. Maybe you could just start working on something and kind of whatever.
We have there's some footage that I have like from before I got hurt, but I don't know. I just like, I'm more focused on just like getting healthy, dude.
I would say don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Organically, like, bro, that's just going to get back to where it needs to be in due time.
Exactly. I just like really, I know I've been through like injuries nowhere near like this, but I've been through injuries where, you know, you feel like stuff's so far away, and then like you said, you're just like you're picking up the pieces so quick, and you're just like, I just know it's gonna come naturally, so I'd rather not even kind of, I don't know, overthink it or put some sort of expectation on myself.
The biggest part for me with an injury is like gaining that confidence again, that it's gonna be okay, and I'm not gonna aggravate it and take like. I don't want to take steps back. I want to move forward. And I think that's the biggest part of an injury for me, is just trying to like have that confidence and be like, cool, I'm confident that this thing is good, and let's fucking go.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm not even really like, dude, my leg has a metal rod in it. It's
you still got to get used to that concept.
It's like, it's not going to break. Like, I don't know. They're just like, dude, I remember when I first started walking, they were like, dude, your shit's, it's not going anywhere.
You're chilling. You're good.
You're fucking Iron Man, bro.
Pretty much. So I don't know. It'd be different if it was like something a bit more tender, like if it were like soft tissue or tendon or something where I'm like, I really got to baby this and I got to be like.
But how's your muscles back there? Are they a little atrophy from not using them for?
Dude, nah, I've been going
shit.
in at PT and like using the blood flow restriction machine. You guys are familiar with that? It's like BFR. Dude, it's crazy. They like put this, it's pretty much like a blood pressure machine. I had to like sign papers like to even like use it because I guess it's like, I don't know, it's pretty painful. Like it can be for sure. But
is it electro shock stuff?
No, it's like this. They put like an airbag on your like whatever part that they want to build the muscle, and I guess the whole idea is it cuts off the circulation. It like calibrates to your body, and it cuts off the amount of blood flow to like a certain level where only a little bit of blood is like flowing, and your body secretes like, I think she was telling me like lactic acid is what it is that like helps form muscle or something. So it's like basically when you work out, your body's sore, and that soreness is like those acids and whatever like kind of like coming to the surface, and then that's what forms muscle. So what this machine does is like it basically makes that happen faster without having to bear as much weight.
You're fast tracking it.
So it's like for people, in my case, like I have a fracture that from the beginning I couldn't really bear a lot of weight, but I needed to get my muscle back. So they're just like making me use 10 pounds and it's like 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Because they're just like having
so you're working out with this thing on.
Yeah.
It's restricting the blood flow, which makes the lactic acid form. I mean, it's a hack.
Yeah, it's something that I guess for people like, with my situation, like I broke my leg and they're like, well, you can't go leg press like 100 pounds to get your muscle back. Yeah. So
go slow.
So they're like, we got this machine and we can pretty much trick your body into thinking it's doing way more work than it is, and then your muscles forming way faster.
Who comes up with this shit?
I know, how do they figure it? Dude,
it's insane.
How nuts this is obvious, but back in the day, let's just say like, I don't even know, whatever, 1,000 years ago, you broke your leg, your leg was broken, dude. That's it. Yep. Sorry,
Kelly, we're gonna get some sticks. I'm gonna get some twine. Yeah. And I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, we're gonna splint.
And you're gonna be good.
And now it's like, the what they can do to repair a body is unbelievable.
Yeah, dude.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's honestly like, it's really comforting, and like you can feel it, you can see it. Like I was using that machine today. I went to PT today before coming here, and like you see your body like. It almost feels like it's swelling or something, but like after you're off of it, you feel like it feels like all the blood's coming back, but you see like your leg, you almost see it happening.
How long are you on some wrapped up in that thing?
Well, it depends because
it's wrapped
typically
up on
like it's like 8 minutes.
Oh, okay. So really short.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, they probably made you sign something because like you are restricting blood flow to like an extremity, which can't be that good for you.
I think it's more like if you're in a lot of pain after this, it's not our fault.
But I'll lay on my arm.
Right.
Like
I'll lay on my arm for like an hour and shit falls asleep.
Yeah, dude. Blood the first couple times I started doing it, I was like, I don't know if I can do this, dog. This is like gnar. Like it felt gnar.
Does it feel like your shit fell asleep? And
it literally, yeah, it felt like that, but I was like moving weights or like trying to do stuff.
Wild.
But then your body sort of builds like now I do it and I'm
You're
like,
good.
It's nothing.
I don't even think like, it'll get uncomfortable toward the end because I'm doing like reps, and toward the end you're trying to read everything in the room. You're like, God damn it, 15 more of this shit.
Next time my arm falls asleep, Dubs, I'm gonna grab my weights and start fucking going, bro.
Gotta bring it back.
That'd be amazing to watch,
bro. Like, I don't know, it's crazy, and I've seen a lot of people use it. Like now, after I just learned about it through my experience, but then I'm like seeing other people that have been hurt. Like I seen Scheckler on his Instagram using it when he was coming back from his ACL injury, and I've had a couple people that have done similar things where they're like, oh yeah, like I was using that. It's like what athletes use, It's like,
what's it called again?
BFR. Blood flow restriction.
It's blood flow restriction.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's interesting, man, to hear about these new little techniques and stuff that these people have.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's fucking interesting.
I don't know if like people own them. Like I don't know if like it's something.
Well, you have to sign a release, so I don't think you
might just be
you have to
only
be a
device.
doctor, probably.
Yeah, you end up fucking around and
dude,
have to amputate your shit or something.
Fuck that, dude.
I fell asleep with this shit on.
I fell asleep with it on. No.
Oh, man.
Nah, but that shit's been like, I feel it. I feel stronger.
Dope.
Like
it works.
Every PT session, I'm like, you feel stronger because you're using that, and it's
so funny, man. As skaters, like it just sucks to get. It's a part of it. You get hurt.
Yeah.
But it feels at the time and at the moment, it feels like such a setback. You know?
For sure.
It's like,
especially if you go into
man, like
you're in it.
You got to go into surgery too. That whole process is just like I have pins in my ankle right now, and they're like my brother-in-law, just get this shit out of there. It's easy. It's quick. But I'm like, no, but I don't. No one likes going through the process of getting surgery.
It's a process, man.
Like that shit sucks,
dude. I was thinking that way, like leading up to this. I had the follow-up surgery where they took the screws out, and I was like, dude, is this really going to be like 3 steps forward, 5 steps back? Like I was so worried, but I felt so good right away. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, you think when you hear surgery, you think of that recovery process again.
Yeah.
You're like, no, this is different, dude. You're already healed. All your scars need to heal this time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, dude, and while I was hurt, I won this digital Manny. I won more money in a contest than I ever won in my life with a broken leg on my couch.
There you go.
It's amazing.
I was like,
and you got a cool cup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chalice.
That is a cool cup.
That's pretty sick, dude.
No, congrats with that, bro.
Dude,
yeah. And speaking of manuals, what do you? I have to know. Like, what are you doing in the contests? You don't see manuals in contests, really. Like
especially the actual contest you're talking about, or like a manual contest?
Like a Tampa Pro.
Okay, yeah.
Like you're doing manuals that like people. You don't see that.
No.
You see a run. You see people. What are you thinking when you're going out there and you're like, I'm gonna try this fucking hard ass manual in my run?
I'm just doing what I want.
Okay.
That's like
what feels right.
You got them good, so use them. You know what I mean?
I'm literally like, I'll go to somewhere like Tampa Pro. They remodel the course every year,
and you're looking.
And I'm like, that thing looks fun as hell. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm not winning this shit. So I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna try and do that trick. Like in practice, I'm trying the same trick, and then if I land in the run, I'm like, cool. I was just trying this all day, so I just landed at the right time. But like,
you had a good run there too. It's just like you messed up a little bit on things, but like I remember you did nollie over to nose mail, nollie flip. And I remember I was judging them like, that is fucking way gnarlier than any shit I've seen today. like dude, the risk on that is like, to land that is pretty small.
Yeah, it's high.
Yeah, it's high.
It's a high risk.
Reward.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry.
I don't know. I feel like too, it's kind of just become part of what I do. I almost feel like
you have to
in
do
a
it
weird
now.
way, kids are like being let down if I go out there and I don't bring some weird twist, like some weird manny twist.
That's cool.
But that's fun for me, you know? And like, you know how many kids will like hit me up after? Like I did awful, like if I do awful at a contest, but I land that one thing, that one manny thing, it's like that stuck with the kids, or like, and they're like, oh dude, like I'll get a bunch of clips of like kids at their local park ollieing over a can to nose manny. And I'm like,
you brought the wild one was switch. Would you switch ollie over table, switch mail, switch flip, or switch heel, switch mail?
Switch heel manny.
Switch heel, switch manny
over a table
on
flat.
And then did you switch flip out or something?
I switch flipped over like a pipe or something. I don't remember.
You're making manual pads.
Yeah.
That was awesome, dude.
But I love it though, because you know manuals. I always make the joke because like I based my whole career around like the hardest shit. You know, it's like manuals are such a fucking brain fuck.
Oh yeah,
you sit there. I love them too, but I'm saying like the emotion and everything to like sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours, days even going back and trying to get it. It's like such the most like just it's fucking tough, you know. But the reward at the end is so beautiful.
Amazing.
Dude, I will lose my shit 100 times faster learning ledge tricks. Ledge tricks are so hard for me because you stick.
Yep.
And the ledge is like, if you're skating a ledge in the streets, that shit might chip up on you.
Yeah.
And I never skated no mani pad that chips up on me.
Yeah.
I never had to wax nothing. If I'm trying to, I don't know, a frontside flip fakie manny, if I frontside flip up that thing every time, I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it.
Like,
Right.
It might take me 120,000 hours, but it's kind of, maybe I'm just fucking crazy, but it's like, I enjoy the process. It's like therapeutic to me. I don't know why.
Do you do you calm yourself? Do you get calm?
I've gotten
from
mad.
it?
I mean, like everybody gets frustrated, but like, I don't know. I feel like I go into it a lot of the time. If it's something I've never done, which is, I feel like most of the time I'm trying to film something, it's like I'm combining things I've done, but never like all in one. Or I don't know. I just go into it thinking like this is going to take forever. And then if it doesn't, then then we're up.
You're chill.
Yeah.
You're good.
This had to take forever. If it didn't, then I don't know what's wrong. Something's wrong with you. Frontside flip, fakie manual, fakie flip back to fakie manual. That had to take forever.
Yeah.
What spot was that on?
It was a spot at
It's
USC at the football
at the LAFC stadium. Yeah.
Yes. It's like this mani pad. You come up from the side, and it's sort of like low to high. It's low where you get
I know what
on,
you're talking
and
about.
then it's like all concrete.
Yeah.
It's decently long, but
I get you. I remember that.
I don't know. I think that took like 3 weekends of going there, but most of it was because we kept getting kicked out.
Yeah, that's true too.
We would just get kicked out, and like I would get close, and then we would just get kicked out. And like the craziest part about that trick was it's kind of uphill, like the whole spot. I've never gone that fast in frontside flip fakie manny. It was like an insane feeling to like run as fast as I can and like frontside flip to fakie manny. And I was just like,
on a tall ledge too.
Yeah, it's not like super low, but I feel like that was the learning curve for me.
Pretty dope though. I love a fast manual.
Yeah, and
it's
I mean,
so
by the time I get
that.
off the end and I wasn't going that fast, but like to get to it because it was uphill, that was like the most frustrating part, was because it was super like I would get to it with like normal speed, but I had to go like as fast as I could possibly go from where I was starting. And like, it was just a strange, because where are you going to go that you're going to learn that trick going fast? Or like, where are you going to implement that? Like, yeah, I know how to do that trick going like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, like why would you do that?
Yeah,
going that
so
fast?
like it was
harnessing boostness.
Yeah.
Ooh, dude, boostness.
Yeah, see, he's great at that trick. Yeah, he's really great at that trick. And he's probably he's probably got the record going the fastest doing that trick.
Probably. Didn't he do that at the Pier 7 manual pad?
Up it, yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah, dude, that trick took a while though. You are right. It took a couple weekends, and like I want to say the day we did it wasn't too bad, but it was like it's just going that fast and then getting in the one that kept me straight.
Yeah.
Because once I got in one straight, I was like, if I just get straight, it's over, because I could fakie flip in the middle and keep going. Like, it's just getting in that one.
I wanted to ask you this too, because we talk about this sometimes in the show about like is there a thing as a pinched manual? And I think that, well, I believe there is, but I think that you kind of use that same style as well, like using your toes on the corner of the board to like in the nose or tail.
I don't know, dude. I feel like maybe if you ride tight trucks, it's like a pinch feeling. It doesn't feel like a pinch to me.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't feel like that. Yeah. Like maybe when my trucks are really new, you can feel like you're locked somewhere. Like, but not.
No, you don't
see.
Think
I had a hard time accepting it, because like when Foy came on the show, we were talking about pinching manis, and it's like you can't feel a pinch right when you're manualing. You just. You kind of like, you're just kind of going and adjusting here and there.
Yeah, there's like there's a moment where it's on. Like you get in right and you're just like, I don't know if it's a pinch. I wouldn't call it a pinch. I just feel like it's that center of balance where you're just like, you find that sweet spot and you're like, I can go around the block.
Well, I kind of mainly think pinching a manual is basically when you're like flipping in or out. Or no, I'm sorry, out of a manual. Because if you do a switch flip and your feet on the right side of the board inside, I can't flip a switch flip out. But like see, I have to have my toe curled in the corner, so it like gives me leverage to flip.
But see, that's a quick pinch then. It's a quick pinch.
Well, I can balance it the same way.
Because like if you're doing a quick pinch to flip out, is that what you're saying? Because you have to like.
No, I mean, you don't move your feet around in the manual, so that's you kind of.
So you're pinching from the beginning to flip out of something.
Yes,
that's what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like unless, for the most part, you're doing that.
How tight do you ride your trucks?
Not that tight. I would say medium.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't understand. There's not like a point where I feel like I'm locked. Like I'm just like, oh, this is it. It's all going like it. No matter what happens, there's no. I don't know. It just doesn't. I feel that feeling, but it doesn't feel like it's necessarily the trucks. I feel like it's more my stance on the board.
Now, see, I 100%, because like when I watch somebody on video manualing in a pinched position, I'm like, oh yeah, there's a pinched manual. But when I'm manualing, I'm not even aware of a pinch. I don't feel it. I'm not aware of it. So if I'm in a front crook pinched, I'm aware of that fucking pinch.
No, for sure. Yeah,
I get the thought process behind what you're saying.
I'm not saying all manuals are pinched. No. I'm just saying there is a technique to it.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely know. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's harder to like feel it maybe, I don't know, from like the first person or something. I don't know. Because I feel like it's all just how I'm weighted over my board. Like, there's a point where if you find that sweet spot, like I could still like turn and like, I don't know. It's not like it's something to do with, all right, my ankles are like locked into this pinched feeling. It's more like, all right, like my shoulders or my head is like exactly where I need to be over this board, where like I'm just center of balance.
If anything, that's the lock position.
I think it comes more from like your core than like maybe your like your board feeling. I don't know. That's really interesting to even think. Cause like, I wouldn't.
I never really thought about a manual being a pinch.
Yeah.
Me and Jamie Foy argued for hours.
I was here
on the show.
Yeah, that's right. He did come for Jamie's episode.
Yeah, I was sitting over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Look how far we came, dude.
I know.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I remember you guys talking about that. I was like, what the fuck? Is
yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I love Jamie Foy.
I love
bro.
it,
He's
bro.
the best, man. Dilo, you're the man.
Straight up.
I want to congratulate you on all the stuff that you've accomplished because we've been fans forever. Said it 500 times on the show, but it is true. So glad you finally found a home with footwear and boards, trucks, wheels.
Grip tape.
Got an underwear sponsor yet?
No.
We'll work on that.
All those things are coming. All right.
Chris has some signature small keyhole stuff coming out pretty soon.
Ooh, I got my package. I got my Beneath package.
Did you?
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sick.
Sent some sick ass shit.
Your package got
Amazing.
a package?
Totally.
Amazing.
Small,
Yeah, dude.
Small.
Thank you guys.
Dude.
Seriously.
No. You're the man.
No,
we want to
thank you,
give
bro.
we want to give you some 9 Club stuff to take home with you if that's cool.
Hell
You're down
yeah.
for it.
You already
what
know I'm
saying?
down.
Kelly, we do the honors, bro.
What size?
I've been wearing like XL.
Ooh,
Excellent
okay.
kinda
Getting
guy.
baggy. Let's go.
Dude, I just like everything shrinks when I dry it, and it's like
Yeah.
it's just it's safer.
But you got a
playing
baggy kit.
XL.
You got a baggy kit going on.
Yeah, I just
for
run,
sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
One thing that I want to touch on too, which a lot of people I got hit up a lot from because like we did the fake switch
The
flip,
Transworld thing.
switch flip. What was the video called?
Duets.
Duets. That's right.
And I did
Shout out,
the homage section with you guys.
shout
all
out Joe Face. Joe Face and who else did that? I forget. man.
Buckman.
Buckman.
Yeah.
Buckman.
Mhm.
Dude, we got people, bro.
Oh yeah.
They thought that shit was real.
Yeah,
dude.
people were definitely like, Chris really did that shit again. And
Dude, were you there when you were there from the start? Did you see me try it?
actually try it.
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh
so.
fuck! Thank God. It was embarrassing, bro.
Could you get up it?
No.
Oh shit. That's crazy.
Listen, mind you, like that type of shit for me was like you would skate that. I skated that
Oh,
thing.
you mean now? I'm sorry.
Yeah. This was recently. I would skate that thing every weekend. Like
Yeah.
I was conditioned to
Yeah.
jump up that thing. Like
Yeah.
I knew the sweet spot. I knew where I needed to be. I knew the angles. Like I knew everything about that stage. So, like, when you're unconditioned and you go back and you're like, fuck. Everybody wants me to switch flip manual it again. I'm like, fuck no, I can't do this shit.
Dude, I remember
Could you
when-
even get? Wait, you couldn't get up it?
Bro, my board bonked off the side of it and I flew off the stage, dude.
Oh, speaking
No way.
speaking
Horrible,
of,
man.
it's on the tee.
There it
Thank you,
is.
Kelly. Thank you. But that was fun, though.
Yeah,
That was
dude.
fun.
I
We
feel like that
wore
was
the
when we
same
first
shit.
met.
Was it?
I feel like I rode with you over there. We rode in the car together, and
I
was
feel like I knew.
I think we
know,
might have
man.
met at like the contest that was thrown at that thing. You were like,
Yeah, that the contest for
There
sure.
was-
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I was helped judging that.
there was like a
Commentary or
tribute.
something? I
There was like
forget.
a switch flip switch man. He gets $100 at that contest. I remember it was like do Chris's trick and get like $100, and like all of us were trying. I don't know. I just remember you were there,
That's so
and like, we might have met that day.
It was
but-
just funny because like we would get, I would get comments of like, it was like half and half. Like half people were like, dude, you fucking did that again. That was so sick. The other half were like, dude, that was so fake.
I remember
That was
when
fun, though.
when Joe even hit me up to do it. I was like, "Fuck! What if like because I'd done it maybe no, I don't even know if I'd done it at that point." And I was like, "I don't. Maybe I could do it." Like he was like, "You're just like the only person I could ask because you're the same stance as him, and
Yeah.
like he can wear the same kit as you. You guys are relatively like
Same
similar
stature.
height and
Yeah,
stuff."
yeah.
So he was like, "It's got to be you. So you got to at least try." I was like, "Okay."
It worked out good, dude.
No,
it
it was
worked out.
so
You did it a
rad.
couple times that day, I think.
I did because I
Yeah.
did the arm wrong.
Oh,
We
which
tried to
you
emulate the
landed.
arm.
We tried to
Amazing.
do the
Oh,
Chris
The
arm
handcuff?
ski.
The handcuffs?
Look, it's probably in the sequence right here.
It
wherever
is.
your arm
Let's
is.
see. Nah, you can't really see it too much.
Yeah.
you can
But
see in
one
the
of your-
video behind him a little bit,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
one.
Let's
Yeah,
get
the
this.
last one.
Yeah, his arm does like a. I think I fucked it up, and they wanted me to do it again.
Which is funny because like,
Yeah, it was like
whoops.
I don't know. Your arm did something, and I was trying to copy it.
Yeah, it's a
Back,
handcuffs.
yeah,
It's
like-
the-
Yeah.
I'm going
It's
to
like
jail
the
for this.
Handcuffs. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ. I do remember them being like, yo, you gotta, Joe's looking at the footage. He's like, yo, you like, you reversed the arms or
Yeah,
something.
I think I did it like inverted or something. I did it like
Oh.
like one was in, but it was the wrong one in, and I don't know.
That must be weird to do that trick and then to be like, all right, when I land,
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta put my arms back.
yeah,
exactly.
pretty much.
Those are the types of things that I enjoy, you know, because like, to me, it's like this, I loved the courthouse. I grew up skating the courthouse, man. That was my fucking stomping grounds, dude. I have, tremendous, seeing Eric Cost in there, Tim Gavin, Dubs, like Daniel Cass. It was amazing, And then, the switch flip manual thing turned into like
I love it.
a joke on the show.
It's so sick though.
Because we started talking about it from like the very first episode, and it just kept getting brought up, and we just ran with it. Yeah. So to kind of do that, that's like right up my alley. I'm like, oh, dude, this is great, man.
I'm glad it worked out. Like, imagine Joe found a person that could do the trick, same stance, same kit. Like, all right, this could work. And then imagine I couldn't do it. It'd have been like, fuck, we almost had it.
We wouldn't have made it in the video. Yeah. We wouldn't have made it,
dude, for real.
You couldn't do the handcuffs. So you know what I mean? Like, if you couldn't do the handcuffs, man,
you could have ended up on the cutting room floor of Joe's apartment.
Yeah, dude, for real.
I need to check it. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Dubs. It's like in the credits. There's like an alumni, like Transworld, all the people who had like Transworld parts back in the day. He tried to get clips of them, and Chris was. You might have closed it with that. You might have like closed the montage or opened. I don't remember.
It was
most likely.
I feel like it was in a significant point because it was like, like the trick that everybody.
To be honest, with you, I don't even remember.
I don't remember. I just.
That was the last Transworld video, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to be a part of it.
Me too, man. Yeah, I'm glad you got to play me.
Hell yeah.
Being a part of it.
Dude, I told you before how Darren told me one time, like, Darren Howard. I told you this when you guys did the live stop at the Diamond event on Halloween years ago. I was like, bro, Darren Howard, I sent him a sponsoring tape to skate for like Deluxe when I was a kid, and he was like, you remind me of a young Chris Roberts.
Okay.
And I was like, and I remember being like, I didn't even know who Chris was. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
What's a Chris Roberts, dude?
Yeah, I was all like, what? Like,
John? You know what? I'm taking this shit back. I'm taking all this stuff back.
And yeah, I didn't even get on. Or nothing. That was just all he had to say to me. I was like, damn. All right.
Well, shit.
Damn. I mean, it was, now in hindsight, you're like, that was fucking sick.
Look, now it came back. That's a way of disrespect from somebody. Like, don't put him on and tell him to skate like Chris Roberts.
So you're telling me there was never a chance of me getting on reel. That's basically what it's all about.
You gotta get Darren here, and
that's basically what it's all about.
Talk about it.
Tim's gonna text. Sounds like Jim Debo's gonna text me like, "You're right. You're absolutely right."
Without saying it, you're right.
Yep. Dude, John. Bro, this has been a long time in the making. Sorry, Dubs, hit your thing.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, congrats seriously on the everything that's going on with you, man. We really appreciate you coming through and hanging out with us, man. Come back anytime. We got the stop and chats, when you got the new part coming out or whatever. Dude. There's a XL switch manny. You can relive that every day of your life.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. This is fucking so
Here's a...
what? You guys got like engravings
on
this?
Our good buddies over at Yeti.
Damn, that's so sick.
Thing there. And
Yeti thing.
Listen, I some stickers, bro, for your I know you're gonna get the cover of Thrasher one of these days.
Cover of Transworld too.
Yeah. It'll come back. Transworld's coming back. It's gonna make
it's a possibility.
Everything makes it come back.
Never say never. Never say never, Dubs. When you get the cover of Strength magazine,
that might come back too.
Skateboarder too, skateboard bag.
Photo incentive, $20 if it makes it on the cover.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I'm down. Let's do this.
And then we'll match that shirt.
The
with
gift
the
that keeps on giving.
Dude, I just switch for Manny. Yeah, everywhere. I love it.
Hey, thank you so much for my first package.
Of course.
Of the hours is yours.
Yeah, dude.
Shoo, man. Congrats on this, bro.
Yeah,
really fucking dope, dude. I'm so excited to see where this company goes. I'm excited. I think it's awesome, man. You guys fucking did a great job, bro.
Hell yeah, Dennis.
I'm going to wear these proudly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. No, thank you.
Looking forward to my pro or colorway or whatever you guys do these days.
Yeah, dude. We got more boxes for you. We'll keep them coming.
Please.
Yeah, you already
love it, bro.
Dude, thank you guys for real.
Dude,
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Dude,
keep doing your thing, bro.
Yeah.
You'll be back soon.
Yeah, don't stop.
On your own pace here.
Yeah. And good luck with the last couple months of the leg thing. And dude, just take your time, get back on the board, and man, just have fun again, bro. Start pumping out that fucking content.
I'll see you guys at the curbs probably.
Yes.
Let's go, dude. Yes.